And I'm going to finish my sandwich on recording. How about that? Welcome to the Dice Are Bad Storytellers. My name is Jacom Clarkson. I'll be your DM tonight. Oh, and she just came in. This is perfect. She make it? Hooray! We were just going to start without you and then bring you up to speed.
Well, glad I made it in time then.
Yeah, welcome. So here we go. Welcome to the Dice Are Bad Storytellers. My name is Jacom Clarkson. I'm joined today by Phil Mathis, playing.
Hey.
Awesome.
Playing
Okay,
Johan.
Perfect. Daniel Monzingo. So, woo! Great. Alex.
Playing Qiao.
Perfect. Addison.
Sir Emory Warren.
Perfect. And Addie.
Playing Lyre.
I will always call you Addie out of respect. Okay, let's get going. Last we left off, a large earthquake had shaken the coast of Old Wessex, and we were dealing with the outcomes of that. So we will zoom over to Phil first to see how this pans out. You failed your dex save, but then succeeded in the con save, so you get a reduced physical damage. So you take 7 damage from falling debris as your father's home takes some serious damage from falling objects and falling things. It's a big earthquake. Like, you feel a wall give out in another section. Your father's home is well built, but it's sizable. What would you like to do now that that's started to resolve? Actually, I'm going to add something to what I said before for both you and Johan. So Lyre is out on the boat and will be experiencing the same physical sensation, though. As this earthquake is ending and going on, you feel an emotional sensation as if a close relative has just asked you for money. Like this kind of grimy, gross, like someone just overstepped a boundary. And you feel drawn to the west. You feel some sort of compulsion to go west. And so that's unique. You don't even have to roll a will save for that. That's just given to you. You actually, we'll see on perception checks what you guys notice as we go. But yeah, we'll start with resolving Phil's scene here real quick.
Also, just for reference, when you say you, I have no reference of who you're pointing at.
For that.
You can say our name.
Okay, it's recording in this situation, so everybody thinks I'm doing a good job in the recording, but you're right. So Phil, we're gonna keep on going with Phil's story. You are in your father's home. You snuck in.
All right. First off, I was near my father last time, right?
Yes, you were close enough to see him, like in a side room. He hadn't perceived you.
Okay. Still disguised as the guard. I'm going to rush in and try and make sure he's okay.
Okay. He is. We'll see. No, he has fallen to the ground, and he is extremely unconscious. He is very injured. He's been hit on the head by a series of books on one of his bookshelves.
Gotcha. I'm going to pick him up.
Okay.
I'll roll for that. I'm not the strongest person in the world. That'll be a 12.
You're able to pick him up. He's just covered by books. You just push over a bookshelf that's now empty from other books. He's making death saves. He's
okay.
In danger of dying.
Well, there's no way I could know that, so I'm going to start trying to get him out of the castle or out of the rubble.
Okay. You start to carry him out. It's pandemonium outside. The guards are, for the most part, holding true and not panicking. They're still keeping people out of the gates. The people outside of the gates are panicked as well. It's madness. A guard comes up and sees you. Our Lord, is he okay?
Real quick. Before we actually get outside, into the public view. I am going to go off to the side, and I'm going to try and stabilize him. if I
Okay,
can.
roll a medicine check.
Okay, that's a natural 1, which makes it a 2.
A 2. On his luck check, he got a 19, so you don't make him any worse, but you definitely don't stabilize him.
Got it. I'm going to try.
You see a glob of blood. He coughs up a glob of blood after this experience.
Okay, but is he getting back to consciousness?
He doesn't seem to be any closer to consciousness. With that, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try and stabilize him again.
Okay.
I'm trying to do CPR a second time.
You can do it.
5.
Don't have to roll a
Gonna
luck
kill your
check, but
dad.
he's going to roll a death save.
Okay.
So it's 11 and up is a positive, or 10 or 10 or what is it?
10 or higher. 10 or higher.
Okay, that is extremely fortunate for him. He's still struggling. He's not doing so great. He's not coming to consciousness, or he's still bleeding a lot.
Okay, I'll try one more time. And if it
Okay.
doesn't work, I'll take him outside. Is that a 6? I guess that's a 6. This die is weird. 7.
7. Okay. You haven't heard him anymore, but this next decision is very important.
Okay. I am going to get outside, leave him there because I know that it's probably not safe to move him. I'm going to run outside and I'm going to try and call for help. I'm going to grab a guard that's outside and bring him in and try and get him to come help.
Okay. You call guards. People will go, what's the concern? Is the Lord? Like, they realize that, like, he's probably unsafe. They rush in to check. Do you tell him anything?
I'm just going to say, I found him in his room. He was badly hurt. Books. Head. Hurt his head.
They run in, call the nurses, call the nurses. Like, this has all happened within, like, probably 5 minutes of the earthquake. So it's still really, really fresh. But yeah, you see some guards come around him. You see a couple roll just some medicine checks on him. The first couple don't really know what they're doing, but then they realize he's going to be okay. He's not dead. He's just seriously injured. And they tell you that, or you hear that through the grapevine. You see some nurses come up to give him aid.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm just sort of going to stand back and let it all unfold and see what happens to him. And then figure out where they're taking him.
Okay. You hear some of the nurses talking. They talk about how his constitution has been failing ever since his wife left. And that's supposed to be hush-hush information, but with all the crisis going on, everyone's kind of not like, you see the gate that's keeping people out has broken in places, and some of the populace are rushing the tower to see the Lord, and like guards are keeping them back. Roll me a perception check just for flavor. They start to take him to an infirmary or like a safe room within the building. What'd you get?
12.
You see some shots of black magic coming out of the crowd.
Interesting.
Clearly recognizable, even with the 12, as warlock magic. This is Pith's magic.
Like, are they hitting people, or what are they doing?
It looks like they're just tearing down fences / figuring out what just happened. They don't know what they're doing themselves.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to follow them to the safe house, the safe room.
Okay. You'll follow him to safe room. They get him stabilized. Your father is still unconscious. Let me see if they wake him up. Oh yeah, they'll wake him up. They wake him up, explain the situation. He seems really, really drained. And he just tells them, keep the perimeter secure and leave me to rest.
So, after a minute, I'm going to walk out and I'm going to wait like a minute outside, and then I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to say to him, my lord, there is someone here to see you. He was nearby during the collapse, and, well, he followed us, it seems. He wants to speak with you privately.
He looks long and hard at you. Your father's an extremely smart man, and he didn't get as far as he did with like trusting people to leave him alone with people. He's like, how about you escort him in?
Okay, that sounds good. And I make sure that everybody else leaves.
Okay.
And
They're
then,
nearby.
as
They're
the
tending
last
to other
person-
things in the castle. What?
As the last person leaves that room, I'm going to close the door and I'm going to lock it from the inside. And I'm going to drop Mask of Many Faces.
Okay. Your father, weak as though he is struggling to grab a letter opener off a nearby desk. And he's got it pointed at you.
I draw my sword and just say, don't.
Who are you?
I am exactly who you think I am.
A random ruffian off the street who has a penchant for tattoos? I have no idea who you are.
You stupid son of a bitch. I'm your goddamn son. Look at me in the eyes. I am your wife's son, not yours.
Yeah. He gets a nat 1 on that check, but he's too weak to do anything about it. He goes, my son is dead. Whatever joke or prank you're trying to pull on me in my exposed, vulnerable state, I will not consider legitimate.
Your exposed, vulnerable state almost got crushed under your fucking house during an earthquake. And I'm the one that pulled you out. Don't give me this shit. Listen. I am your son, or I am your wife's son. I am the heir to whatever you call a fortune, or at least whatever's left of it. And I want some damn answers.
He puts down the letter opener. Only my son would talk to me that poorly. What do you want to know? Why are you alive? How are you alive? I've been looking for you for years.
Well, I got really good at hiding from everything. But anyway, that's besides the point. Listen.
I burned a lot of scrying money on you.
Look, you can't scry on me. I've got some shit going on. Anyway, look, that's not why we're here. I deliberately did not let you die because I needed to know what the hell is happening with you and the lordship right now.
I'm still.
Are you still the emperor or something?
I was. I was, but your mother decided that she didn't want to be part of a noble family and fled the estate, leaving me as the only person to run the family, seeing as you were dead. They couldn't instate me as being the king without someone else to hold the hollow name, and so Uvano, that snake, lied to me and made your wife, apparently you're alive, so she can call herself that, queen instead, because she was technically a hollow. So my life has been ruined by your ineptitude, and now that the parliament has decided, sent it forward, it's all signed and sealed. Technically you're king. Congratulations.
Are you serious?
I know, some bullshit, right? I've been working for this for years, and suddenly you get to be king.
I don't want to be king. I just want to be with my wife. I just want to be
Well,
with
she's
Korea.
queen, so I don't know what to tell you, son. Congratulations, greatness thrust upon you and such. Look, I've got accounts to handle. I've got a earthquake to solve, and you've got some tattoos to figure out, clearly. So I'm just gonna...
What?
Really, a face tattoo?
What? I said I've got them figured out.
I know. He's questioning your taste and having a face tattoo right here.
I didn't realize I had a face tattoo right there, but okay.
You didn't, because
You do now.
it's been given to you in the earthquake.
Oh, what are you talking about? I say instead.
You've got a strange black marking right on your forehead, right here.
No,
He points over to a
keep
mirror.
my sword pointed at him, and I keep my sword pointed at him, and I start looking around for a mirror.
Yeah, you find one pretty easily that's not destroyed or is in a couple fragments. Yeah, you can see your forehead. You've clearly got, I mean, you've been around pith stuff long enough to recognize it. You've got some sort of symbol of pith right on your forehead.
I thought I was done with this. I thought this was over. When she was sent to the depths. Listen.
Son,
I don't know if I should let you live because you know I'm alive. Everybody else that knows I'm alive is dead. Or married and queen, apparently. Actually, I don't even think he knows I'm alive.
people have threatened to kill me for worse, and I couldn't stop you. I thought about screaming out a couple times, but son, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life that I'm not proud of. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life that other people consider horrible atrocities that I consider the smartest things I've ever done. I want you to be alive, because if you're alive, the Hollows are king. And I want that to happen. So I don't intend to divulge your secret until you can become king.
All right. How would you suggest I do that?
Go find your betrothed, the girl you left the family for. Make sure that she's okay with you, and you start from the connection you know you have, because otherwise you're not king. I didn't recognize you, and you're my own son. So you don't really have a claim to the crown unless someone else recognizes you, do they?
You have a point. Fine. And I disperse my sword into the ether. And I then I tell him it is in both of our best interests if you never saw me.
Done. Do you want to rob me? It'll be like a cash leads it is. Behind the mirror you were looking at, the code is, he gives you a code. Take as much gold as you want.
How much gold does Phil have?
I take the gold. How much is it?
A lot now.
I mean, it's more than you can feasibly, comfortably carry, like in what you've got. But we'll say that it's about 2,000.
I'm good with that. We'll say some of it's platinum. Anyway.
That's fine.
Anyway, I take it and then yeah, I guess I leave. I put back my disguise as a guard and I leave.
As you're leaving, he goes, I am sorry, Johan. I didn't mean for anything this awful to ever happen to you or to your mother. Thank you for saving my life. He's still on the bed. He can't stand. But he says that as humbly as he can.
I walk back in.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to say, you're sorry? You're fucking sorry? You're sorry? And I close the door again.
Wait. I was so close to ending the scene. Oh, no. He's panicking. He's like, I am. I'm so weak and addled. Maybe.
You are responsible for all of the shit that happened in my life. And you are the only one responsible for your wife, my mother, leaving you.
Okay.
I want you to know that. No,
last
I'm
point.
Okay. Listen, I'm going to become king. You're going to sit here on your little throne here in, what was the name of this place again?
Old Wessex.
In Old Wessex, with no power. Once I'm done. Only then will you have earned your sorry. Once I have fixed all of your mistakes.
He gives as regal a nod as he can and doesn't talk anymore.
And then I leave.
Okay. Jeez, it's spooky. Okay. After this event, we're going to cut over to old Emory over at the castle. This shaking has happened. You took the roll with advantage because the castle is really well built and has been built to handle earthquakes. And so you and Edward, that are standing next to each other, experience this really rough shaking, and then it's easily resolved. None of you fall over, take damage. I'm going to roll for 2 people right now. Yeah, they're fine. Both of them are fine. As you're regaining your balance, Edward grabs your arms, both of your forearms, and holds you close. He goes, are you the Justicar's man, or can I trust you like I did in the library?
Sir, you may trust me with anything.
Yes, but are you the Justicar's man? Will you follow his bidding before your own moral compass?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
All right. He lets go of your arms and he walks in. He walks in and allows you to follow him.
I'll follow him in.
Little column A, little column B. This earthquake has clearly shaken everybody in the court. There was like this big proscenium, a bunch of like candles have fallen over. Servants are like cleaning them up so they don't cause fires. It's a lot of people rushing by quickly. But you're very quickly guided into the parliamentary room where the Justicar is there and a bunch of members of parliament or all of the members of parliament that were meeting to talk about this decision. You know all the stuff that I just told to Johan's dad, or just told through Johan's dad. The only reason that Uvano made this decision after he died is so that they wouldn't be able to argue with it so much. And the reason he picked the Bright Lance daughter was because she was technically a hollow, so the parliament couldn't technically refuse his choice, and they would have to establish Edward as the lead. And Uvano saw Edward as being like the only person he trusted to oppose the Justicar in anything. He just knew that Dane Hollow would just immediately fall, collapse to whatever the Justicar wanted. So you walk into this parliament room. It's chaos. People are talking to each other. Panic. Want to roll me a perception check?
Sure. Ooh. That is not good with a 10.
With a 10. Yeah, general chaos. You don't pick anything out that's out of the ordinary given an earthquake. But yeah, you just hear arguing and bickering back and forth. You hear the Justicar saying, "This does not stop our position on staying in Old Wessex. The islands have been our ancestral homes since Orellin himself brought the island here." And the senators are going, "No, there's more land on the mainland. If we stay here, the people will revolt. There's not enough resources, not enough land." It's just this kind of arguing back and forth. And you can still say that in the midst of an earthquake. When Edward walks in, kind of everybody like hushes and gives him the floor for a moment. And he goes,
"Oh, please, my
"First
friends,
off,"
there's no need for that. Let me introduce Edward."
Thank you so much, Sir Emory Warren. I agree with the Senate's position. We should move to the mainland as soon as possible. Given the situations and seeing the outside perception of the noble house keeping them unsafe here on the island, I fear a public revolt at any time. This kind of continues, this debate back and forth about who and what is going to happen here. Is there anything you'd like to do in this scene specifically?
Yeah, I will. When I can claim the floor for a moment, say, listen, Parliament, Justicar, Edward, I am Sir Emory Warren. I am a renowned explorer. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have heard of me. And yes, and I would like to offer up my services to the crown.
They kind of all look at each other, and Edward goes, "What services?"
Perhaps if, instead of a vague, let us settle somewhere that's not here, what if I were to find you the perfect place to settle?
All of them go like, whisper back and forth. The Justicar sits up in his chair and takes the floor and goes, "Sir Emory, your work here both on the castle fortifications as well as our defenses is fantastic. However," he's looking directly at you, winking, doing everything he can to be "Shut up." He's saying "I don't know if you're fully qualified to select such a site." Edward immediately jumps and he's like, No, I disagree. I think Sir Emory is definitely qualified. General Hubble, all over the place. Anything you'd want to add on to that?
And not only am I fully qualified, but I also have an airship.
Again, discussion. Again, it kind of descends into this uproarious discussion. We're going to cut away from there, but I do want to focus in on Karina for a moment. She's kind of shaken by the earthquake, of course, but she seems totally fine. She does not like being here. She's very repulsed by a lot of this stuff that's going on. Actually, I'm going to roll. Suddenly, out of the blue, one of the parliament members jumps out of their seat, runs across the parliament floor, and is going to cast a Eldritch Blast on Karina.
Counterspell.
It misses. It smashes into the wall next to her.
Okay.
Pith energy just explodes out of his hand and destroys a portion of the wall behind her. And she's panicked and retreating. She responds with an Eldritch Blast. It blasts off the floor, and that happens right before we cut away.
Okay.
You three are on a ship out in the sea. Everything is calmed down. You see Umi running around, and then you see the captain looking over at Umi. About a good, handful of minutes after she started running around, he goes, "Oh shit! Oh no! Everybody go! We're getting in there! Everybody go!" And all of the crew hands start to run around trying to get the ship airborne. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to approach the captain.
I'm going with him.
And I'm going to say, Captain, if what I believe is about to happen know that, and I can redirect the water around the ship. So, I mean, this is better, and I'm gesturing at everyone, getting us out of the way of the water entirely, but I'm going to say, but just so that you know, I'll be staying out here to do that if that comes up. Is the ship more than 100 feet in any direction?
No, I don't think. I think that's a little longer than it would be.
Okay, then I can encapsulate it with control water.
100 feet. I mean, for a vessel that traveled all the way from Qiao to Old Wessex, it's pushing it. You might be struggling a little bit. But,
Okay.
But he hears you and everything, but he's too busy directing everybody else. You see Umi's ship go up into the air, and it looks like you guys are going to make it too. You can see the water mounting and the horizon start to disappear as it's approaching over the side.
No problem
Anything
with
you guys would like to do in this moment?
Okay.
I don't know that there is anything else to be done. I mean, there's nothing that we can really do here as far as tsunamis.
Yeah, that's out of my pay grade.
Okay.
For now.
I can levitate 5 creatures, but I think there's more than 5 creatures on this ship.
And if
I did a roll to see if.
Oh no, go ahead.
I did a roll to see if they were successful, and I gave them disadvantage because of the starting later
Delay.
and not being as experienced, and they still made it. So
Yay!
right as the wave comes and is starting to push you toward land, you guys manage to float above the water. It's like a very gust of wind powered by this magical force that they've started. When you guys are looking onto the island, you see tall buildings collapsing into each other. Like, this is before the tsunami even hits. You hear screaming, you hear fires starting, you see fires starting. We'll say it was, early morning-ish when you guys were approaching. So this is probably around 9:30 in the morning. And yeah, you see this tidal wave go up much higher than any of the tide markers did. You see it start to approach the royal palace, but it doesn't quite broach the line to where it hits the royal palace. Truly devastation. And you guys are able to put down the ship once the water is leveled out, and you guys understand that you'll be able to control the movement. Sorry. Is there anything else you guys would like to do from here?
I'll do a perception check in the direction of where the wave came from, but I don't anticipate there being anything out there.
I'll give it to you for free. No, you don't see anything on the horizon.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think so.
Could I do a similar thing to look for any possible people that may or may not have survived or be floating on closer to the top?
Yeah, roll that for sure. Lyre, what kind of clothing are you wearing?
I'm wearing like traveling clothes, so long sleeve shirt. I probably have a cloak on.
Do you think this is like exposed here at all, like your V?
Probably not. Depends on if I thought like I have like kind of a tuft of fur there from what I've kind of like imagined. So.
Okay, then I'll give you this for free. A little tuft of that fur has turned black.
Yeah. Okay. That's wild, and I'm gonna have to discover it later because I have a vaguely ashamedness of my more cat-like features that are more fur-based than so like more ashamed of the fur than I am the ears, really.
Gotcha. So yeah, you guys start to approach the island, assuming you guys are wanting to go there.
I got a 5 on the perception check, so I figure there's not much that I see.
You don't see much. You do notice that it was always the plan that Umi's ship was going to stay in harbor and then only come in once, you know, they were sure it was safe and everything because they have all the emissaries there. And it looks like they're holding to that plan. The ship is staying out in the water.
I also want to look for survivors if we're coming up closer to the area.
Yeah. I'll do
sure.
rolls of
Yeah. Give me some rolls. You guys are approaching. We'll say that this spans the duration of the time from being out to sea to on the coast.
Hey, handsome. I've got 13 to check for survivors.
I've got an app that doesn't work. Give me one moment.
Isn't that the worst? So just to make sure, the tidal wave went over Old Wessex, right?
A huge portion of it, yes.
My portion?
So the entire, let me see, west coast of Old Wessex had a tsunami basically go up a whole, we'll say about 1,200 yards up the coastline horizontally. And so about 4 football fields into the coast is where the water finally stopped going upward. And so lots of people are drowned near the coast. Your father's estate is actually near the south side of the island. And so well, let me just roll a luck check because the map I made is fine. But yeah, his estate is perfectly fine. But a lot of the homes on the other side or more to the west of his estate are completely destroyed.
Okay.
I got a 22.
I imagine that I would be trying. Sorry. I imagine that I'd be trying to help get survivors as well, still disguised as a guard.
Okay. So you can roll for me while I'm describing what they see. You see a lot of actively struggling people because, like, after the earthquake happened, there were a lot of people who were injured or killed, and the tsunami finished off a lot of those people who were mid trying to be helped. But some of the people that were trying to help them but were uninjured have been caught up in the tsunami and are still struggling and, you know, reaching up out of the water.
Is the ship moving?
The ship is, I guess if you guys were so determined to get onto the coast, you guys could basically beach yourself on the beach as the water receded. And so...
Well, because the question then is just how much water is left. Because if there's enough that one could conceivably swim in and the ship isn't moving away in a direction fast enough, I have a swim speed of 30 feet around.
As do I.
And would jump in to try and retrieve as many people as possible.
I'm like,
we'll say
people.
So we'll say that both of you roll me. We'll just call this a straight dexterity roll, but you can roll it with advantage. And I'll set a DC for saving these people. Because you do see a handful more people than even with your swim speed you could save being sucked out far into sea. I do think some of them will survive being able to swim back, but it's kind of a toss-up.
All right. Okay. Well, straight dex check is a 22.
What was I rolling to find people? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Perception.
Perception? That's a 19, by the way.
You see a small family struggling to get out of a destroyed house as the water is approaching them, and you're able to save them. You can roll me a strength save. What'd you get, Daniel? 22?
I got a 22 on the dex save, or dex check.
I'll say I set it to be 15, DC 15 to save anybody. With a 22, I'm going to say you managed to collect 3 different people and manage to pull them to the surface and then pull them to shore. But you see easily another 5 or 7 being pulled away with debris that are even hard to see. What'd you get, Alex?
I got a 19, but what I'm going to do, or what I intend to do, is I'm going to look for a big patch of, like, up the 100 feet that would encapsulate the most people that that I can see. It's a 300-foot range. So I'm going to cast Control Water, and I'm just going to part all the water in that area and in a big square of 100 feet. And I'm going to try to go recover the people that are stuck in there. And I'm sure that I can get help with that in a minute.
For sure. So yeah, we'll say with the 19, we'll use that for your perception, or that was your dexterity save, and you got a really good perception before.
I rolled a 22 on the perception, and my dex was a 19 for the one that you were asking about.
Okay, so I'm gonna say with 100-foot square, and this is a lot of people. These are slums that have been destroyed, so it's probably high population density. I'm gonna say we're gonna roll 3d20. That's how many people you save. You managed to save 25 people as you see this like whole house starting to slide off the thing. You managed to isolate the water from the house, and it settles onto the beach, and you see a bunch of panicked people running out of the house and running back up toward the shore.
Yeah, I'll just hold it until everyone's out. And then, I mean, I'll... how many spell slots do I have for that?
Real quick,
2.
I rolled a 3 on my athletic check to try and save this family.
One of the mothers hucks her baby at you before she gets sucked up into the waves.
Gotcha. I catch the child.
With a 3, do you? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna give you that as a concession. Okay. I'm gonna roll a luck check here for something else. I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw, Lyre, when you get a sec.
As I catch this child and the mother gets sucked into the waves, I'm just gonna sort of look at the sky and I'm gonna say, "Salamel, you bitch!" And I'm just gonna walk away with the child and try and find some guards. Or other guards.
Cool. Lyre, what did you get for that will save?
For that will save?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know I was rolling a will save. I got distracted. Brian just walked in the door. Where are my saves at on this? Am I like super blind? I don't know where the will save is.
Wisdom saving throw is what you're going to be looking at.
Wisdom saving throw. I always call them will saves.
4.
You are overcome with rage as you see a skinny man walk out of the building that Alex just saved some men out of. He turns and sees you as well. You see, and he just starts charging toward the ship.
So like to get onto the ship?
Yeah, does a 12 hit your AC?
No.
An Eldritch Blast goes wild as he's just chasing down the ship. He's frothing at the mouth. How would you, if you were facing your worst enemy, deal damage to this person?
Vicious mockery.
You can roll it.
Alrighty. It's gonna be a DC 16 for wisdom.
Oh, wow. He does not save.
What was that? My mother could have thrown that Eldritch Blast better than you could have.
What damage does he take?
That will be 5 damage.
Okay, your rage-induced burn travels magically over to this man, and you see him crumple in pain. Psychic, I guess.
Oh, Bard spells are so beautiful.
Let me give him another save. He's still going for you. Do you guys want to do anything while you've seen this happen?
How close am I to the guy?
We'll say you're coming back from the water with your 3 people as you see him running up to the now beat ship.
Are any of them in serious danger of dying?
The people in your arms?
Yeah. Because of injuries or
Roll
otherwise.
some luck. Yeah, 2 of them are still spluttering up waters. 1 of them isn't moving.
Okay.
Am I nearby at all?
Like that?
You're very far to the southeast.
Gotcha.
But you can see the beach they're moving from. Like, it's kind of like a vista thing. Like, you're so high up, you can see down to where the ships are.
Gotcha.
Okay. So in all likelihood, the 2 that are still sputtering up water are going to be fine. The one that's not moving is Sketch. Well, I'm not necessarily close enough. How far away am I from the guy?
The guy who's throwing stuff, we'll say it's about 30 feet.
Okay. All right. I will. I can't do both. I can do both. No, poison's not that bad in a meta sense. I'm gonna throw a dart at him.
Okay.
To try to pin him to the ground.
What kind of dart are you throwing at him? Yeah, feel free.
I mean, it can be 2 if you need to, but the first one's going to be let's just hit this thing to roll because that's going to be easier. Oh, that's good. A 21 to hit.
That for sure hits.
Okay. That's going to do 6 damage. And so one of the things, all of the darts he uses are, well, poisoned, and he is proficient in the poisoner's kit. So I think he'd need a con save to not be poisoned. I'm a little
that is a
unclear on
natural
that.
1.
Okay, well then he's poisoned, which means he now has disadvantage on everything. And assuming that doesn't put him in the ground or on the ground or anything like that, I will then, after doing that, use a key point to, 1, activate a flurry of blows, use one of those to touch the unconscious person that's not moving and heal them using my Hands of Healing ability.
Oh, wow.
Which is going to do not as much as I'd like, but it's going to give them 3 health points.
He coughs up some water. He seems to be alive.
Good, and then I'll run up and use the other part of the flurry of blows to try to hit the guy. That's going to be 11 to hit.
That hits. This guy's just a dude.
Okay, well, he takes minimal damage from that and takes 5, but it is just a punch in the side, so.
You see him crumple to the ground and he's making death saving throws. You're still enraged, Lyre, but I'll let Alex do something if he wants to.
That is my turn, so yeah.
Yeah.
So do I see this guy go down?
Yeah, he's gone down, but you can see Lyre's still yelling at him and is still angry at him.
I'm going to turn and I'm going to say, I believe he has been incapacitated. I'm sure he's got it handled. Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Oh, sorry.
No, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Try and break out of it.
I just scared the hell out of one of my cats. That is a 15.
You're still enraged.
Oh, goodness. No, I'm not okay. This guy just comes up throwing fucking blasts at me like what is his deal? Like, who does this kind of shit? Like,
Is it clear to me that this is wildly out of character? Do I notice anything weird?
Extremely. I mean, it's as obvious as like her eyes are starting to be tinged black.
Okay, I'm gonna hit her with the dispel magic.
All right.
Clearly, some magical shenanigans are going on here. So yeah, I'm gonna hit her with a dispel magic. And I'm at 3rd level.
Okay.
All I can think of is Aqua and Darkness from Konosuba.
Oh yeah.
In what way? Sorry, we'll get back to that.
Because the Doulahan curses darkness and is like,
Yeah.
if you don't come to the castle, and then
I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Nope, that's no.
Okay.
Also, you never came back to take revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was mad about, that his friends didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have to roll anything, or is it just an effect?
It depends. So for each level of, so depending on the level of the spell, and I guess it's on us to figure out what's up with that. But if it's above a 3rd level spell, I have to roll with my spell casting ability, and I have to get higher than the spell level.
So roll me that check, and I'm going to interpret what happens based on that. I already have a pretty good idea.
I have a 16 plus 5, so 21 with my intelligence spellcasting.
Okay. I'm going to say with that, you get a lot of information from this. This DC is going to be lower, and you can roll with advantage to try and break this willpower save again. So you can roll that for me now, Lyre. That will be triggered by this. When you cast the spell on her, it feels laughable. It feels kind of like you're trying to cast a dispel magic on like the sun, or like the dagger that you were given. Like, it just feels like it's kind of like, that's not what that's for, you know. Like it's an attempt, and it helps her try and break out of this rage, but you can tell you're not breaking it this easy. What'd you get?
I got a 14.
Wow. With advantage?
Even with advantage?
Oh, no, I didn't roll the advantage. 14.
You're still angry. I haven't lowered the DC. What?
I got a 14. I got the 12. Don't mind me.
Okay, you see the poison that hit that guy on the ground start to take effect? He's not looking great.
Yeah, I'll take out. I'm not going to just fully heal him because I don't want him back up, but I'll take out my medicine kit, which I'm also proficient with, and start medicining the guy up.
Okay, roll me that.
Can you imagine?
That is a 24.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to say you quickly managed to remove the poison from him. You worked this poison for a long time. As you're doing this to him, you notice that he has a strange black mark about an inch short of his belly button. An inch.
Do I
south of his
recognize
belly
that?
button. It looks, with a 24, I'll just give it to you. It looks exactly like the dark pith markings you saw 4 years ago at the Linden's cave.
Beatrice was right.
Okay, now it's Lyre's turn. You can take another. You're forced to take another attack on this man.
Okay. Let's see. I'm thinking some dissonant whispers. Wisdom save 16.
I'm going to counterspell that.
Okay, is that a level 3?
That is, goodness. That is a level 4 spell.
Okay. I make it.
She makes it? Okay.
Yeah.
So you go pull up your lyre to finish off this guy. Your buddy has got you protected. He blocks your spell again. What are you saying and doing?
Okay, so am I rolling the damage for this, or?
No, it's been countered. He fully negated the spell effect with his counter spell. So I mean, like, what are your reaction?
What are you doing? This guy tried to freaking kill me. Like,
Yes.
what is wrong with you? He just ran up and started shooting at me.
Yes, and now he's on the ground after a Triton beat him up.
I'll say with this exchange, you can roll again to save from the rage.
Let's hope.
Having been beaten up by possibly the best beater up of people among the Triton, I am certain that he is down.
I rolled a 4.
Man, I've got to hold to the rules I made. Yeah. Every time you roll, the DC goes lower, just so you know, but you're still not hitting it.
I'm just getting embarrassing at this point. If I get mad, I Hulk rage. Got it.
Okay, to simplify this a little bit, let's make it so that everybody's turn, they get a chance to, you'll get another, if you want to use your turn to give her another will save, we can just do that until either you kill this man or you get out of the rage.
Works.
Okay, so now this will be Daniel's turn. Do you want to use it to help her?
I don't know how. I'm not on the ship.
Look up with a face of mercy with your blots.
You know, it's just like the blot. It's just the ink blots, you know, and so it's just.
You could start yelling out my name, saying, "Girl, what are you doing? Stop it!"
I'm tempted to do the same thing to her that I did to him to make him stop.
Come at me.
I mean, in all honesty.
When you're a monk, you could get on top of this ship.
Like, I'm down to fight the party.
I know what I'll do. Ooh, let me check this. Thank the maker for Tritons. How would you say that like a 10-foot wall of something right in front of this guy would, you know, kind of
Would block off line of sight.
I am going to just look around, you know, see she's still trying to attack the downed man, and raise my hands and make a circular wall of water around me.
Okay,
and,
cool.
It's going to be 20 feet high and a foot thick.
Wow, okay.
Just immediately around this man so that she can no longer see him.
Okay, so you do this. The man is unconscious. You can roll your next will save with advantage because it's your turn. So roll that will save again. And you can no longer see the tide of your quarry.
11.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You're still mad. You got to use your turn to get as close as you can. So I'm going to say you use the rest of your movement to jump off of the ship at very least. Yeah, Phil.
Do I see
Could I fly? Instead of jumping off the ship, could I fly?
Yes,
What?
you can. Use your action to cast fly. But that's your whole action. You won't be able to attack this turn.
That's fine.
I kind of want to make you riding your lyre like a broom, but I'll let you choose flavor. So yeah, you cast fly. Yes, I'm going to say for ease, for simplicity, you can see this combat unfolding on the beach.
Cool. Considering there are other eldritch blasts being shot about, I'm going to try and I'm going to see if there are any other guards around first.
Like, of the, you're far from your hollow house.
Like, any other adventurers or, like, soldiers or anybody that's trying to help with relief efforts or anything like that?
There's a lot. It's all chaos. I mean, at any given point, you can find somebody, especially right now.
Gotcha. I'm going to grab, like, 2 of them and say, "Come with me. There's a fight going on down there." Still dressed as a guard, and I'm going to run down there.
Roll me a persuasion. I know you'll pass it, but still.
Natural 20 plus 11, so 31.
We'll get more men. Them and like 5 other guards start approaching the beach. As you're walking along, you see people freaking out and start trying to attack you. Are you trying to like put any of them down or help them at all?
What do you mean by attack me?
People who are enraged that are casting Eldritch Blast that see you and go into a rage and try to attack you.
Are they attacking me because I'm me, or are they just attacking me because I'm nearby?
They are attacking you because you're you, but not because they recognize you as Johan, but because you really don't know. But you know it's not because they recognize you as Johan.
Gotcha. And my amulets doing nothing to prevent any of this?
Not with this.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't see you. They don't hunt you down. They only react once they see you.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna try and incapacitate a few as they come at me. I mean, with the other guards,
Only a luck check.
It's not too hard, I imagine.
DC 15.
12.
Would you have been doing non-lethal damage?
These are not people that are intentionally trying to kill me, at least not from what I can tell, so I would assume so.
Okay. I'm going to say you have enough control over that, and none of them die as a result of their injuries. So, yeah, none of them die, but you kind of send a few people unconscious. Send a few people unconscious.
Okay.
Now we are back to your guys' turn. Alex, you're up.
Okay. How far away is Lyre from me? Or
She's flying
Lyre?
above you guys. How high did you want to go, Lyre?
I'm still enraged at that guy, so probably fly over 20 feet so that I could see him and maybe start heading towards the wall as well.
Okay, yeah, so she's flying about 30 feet up from you.
Okay, I am going to raise my hand, and I'm going to gesture at the water, and I'm going to say, "Fine then," and I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to throw a watery sphere, which is going to impact Lyre, and she needs to make a strength save, DC 16.
Ooh.
That is an 8.
Okay, so she is engulfed in the sphere, and she's restrained until her next turn, where she gets to make a save to get out of the sphere.
All right. That's really good. Daniel, you're up.
Can I even see that? Well,
She's flying above you. You see the water come up to her.
I just go, okay. If she breaks free and starts coming towards us, I will prepare an action to cast Gust of Wind at her to try to, 1, push her back, and 2, make it much more difficult for her to move. And since, she is above us at this point. Yeah, and since she's above us at this point, the wall of water isn't going to come in too much of, handy sort of thing. So, yeah.
Point of order, she does descend to 10 feet over the ground. It can't stay up.
Gotcha. So you descend about 10 foot above the ground. Now that it's your turn, Lyre, I want you to roll a wisdom saving throw first to see if you break out of the rage.
Okay, I'm actually going to use a different die this time because this is just getting embarrassing.
And we'll make this with advantage as well.
That's a 19 on the first roll and 5 on the second.
There we go.
Okay, I'm going to say, Alex, because of your dispel magic you tried to do before, you feel the rage melt off of her.
Okay, I will release concentration on the watery sphere and let it dissipate. I'll lower it down so she doesn't like slam it to the ground.
Okay, you are on the ground and chilled out.
And I'll hop off the boat.
Do I like understand what happened? Like, do I have full memory of that, or am I just like rage blurred out or something?
You remember it, but at the time when you think back on the memory, it seemed totally reasonable and seemed like the right thing to do. Again, kind of calling back to like infringement of boundaries. It felt like you'd been given permission to do that from someone who cared about you.
Oh. I'm like, okay, that was really freaking weird. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm just gonna run onto the beach and not ever have to deal with this ever again. Complete avoidance of anything awkward in my life.
I'm gonna go check on that dude.
Okay, I'm gonna say you feel that was a one-time thing. You get the feeling that won't surprise you again. You won't be, at least by that effect, indulged and forced to rage like that. When you're checking on the dude, you see the same mark. It is a strange black marking. Other than that, he seems totally normal. He has brown hair. He's kind of tall and gangly. He's a little more handsome than he probably has any right to be. Actually, yeah, we'll keep all that fact, but you'll see why in a bit.
It's a pith marking. Wild water's gone.
I've seen it before.
As have I.
That can't be good.
No, it cannot.
I'm just gonna like put my head in my hands for a moment, knowing that, having seen what I've seen, knowing that this will go poorly at some point. And I'm going to pick that guy up and try to carry him further from the water, because I think he's like right up on it.
Okay. Anything you guys would like to do? I'm assuming you were trying to approach the castle.
We show up.
Yeah, you can show up. So you're disguised as a guard. A bunch of guards start to show up right as this is kind of figured up. They're walking right up to you and they go, "Ma'am, well, we have on good authority that you were in a fight. Are you okay?"
Yeah, it was really weird. Like, out of nowhere, I just felt crazy mad, and this guy ran up and started like blasting. It was wild. And like, I couldn't help myself. I've never been so angry before.
He goes, "We've heard similar reports from some of the populace. Assuming you are okay and you are no longer enraged, please assist any that you see that might need assistance, and we will do the same." You see a lot of them go to tend to like some of the other 24 people you saved out of the house, and they're all stable. You've probably saved all of their lives, and also to the 3 people that Corvus saved. But yeah, they tend to you, and Phil, you are amongst them. Roll me a deception check, but I don't think you'll beat, or I don't think it's possible for you to get lower than their passive wisdom or perception.
You said deception?
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, it's probably higher than everybody's stuff. So yeah, you are among these people. You see a half Triton, a full Triton in a strange mask, and a half Tabaxi woman who has a tuft of black hair on her chest.
Okay. That is odd to me. Would I recognize anything about this strange mask?
Roll me a history check.
Wow, 19 plus 5, 24.
Thanks to your extremely cushy education that you received for most of your young life, you're familiar with this cultural information. This is a Aldeath monk who's the Green Berets of the Triton world.
Interesting. So we have a Triton monk and a Triton. Or a Triton Green Beret and a Triton. Interesting. I'm going to keep my disguise as a guard for now.
Okay. One of the guards goes, "We'd like to offer you a protection for your trip to the castle. We see that you're one of the emissaries." He points to your white ship.
Yes, that would be good. Thank you.
4 men. Go, accompany them. You are one of the 4 men accompanying them up to the castle. We cut back to the Parliament room, where this fight is kind of resolved a little bit. It kind of got messy for a little bit, lots of cuts and slashes, and sudden, like, oh, everybody, like some people casting spells. Karina fully took off her the gloves on her arms and like everything, pulled out her rapier and was starting to duel with this man. And she only has a couple scrapes, but what would Sir Emory like to do here?
You're quiet.
Thank you. Is it all resolved?
No, for the most part. Let me roll something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna say that Karina really showed her training, and right as this guy got within distance, she plunged her sword directly into this guy's heart, and he was dead before he hit the ground, which made the entire place recoil in shock. But you know that she's been training on her own time to become a better fencer, and she just kind of whiplash reacted. She looks a little shaken, doesn't look like she's taken a life, but everybody's like, everyone saw that Lord Lucian attacked her first. That was in self-defense.
Well, with a name like Lord Lucian, are you really surprised?
A couple people chuckle despite themselves as that wit gets to them. She's like really shaken, and so Edward is up front. As this is just illustrated, my sister, who is the functioning queen, and I only her mouthpiece, who has more experience in the matters of state, is not safe in Wessex.
I'd say she's very safe in Wessex.
Weird moment of Edward going, and Justicar going like, and he goes, I propose that Sir Emory Warren takes my sister with him on his trip to isolate what, frankly, it would be criminal not to call New Wessex.
I'm surprised there's not a New Wessex, considering we live in Old Wessex.
Oh no!
I love the idea that that's the point that got everyone to agree with going to the mainland. That's the quip that they're like, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Don't really have another option here.
So after some deliberation, they send a message spell to your captain, and you know that the ship is being pulled up to the castle ASAP. Anything you'd like to do while we're waiting here?
No.
Okay. The emissaries arrive, escorted by 4 guards, and you guys are ushered into the Parliament area. And this is kind of a welcome break for these Parliament members who have been debating and discussing for weeks on end. Fantastic, we have some emissaries. Report, what is happening in Shigua? What is happening?
Is there a specific thing I was sent here to report, or?
Just like your support for the decision of Congress to appoint the new king.
Yes. My father extends, I introduce myself, and I say, my father extends his congratulations to you, my lady, and extends his support for the throne, and wishes you to know that Shigua will continue to stand with you during this trying time. Obviously, you have important matters to attend to, so I will keep it brief, but we continue to stand with you, as we have.
One of the parliament members, has the Shiguan court experienced any earthquakes?
Not since I left, or not before I left, no. Right?
Right. They kind of deliberate amongst each other. Karina stands up and goes, I support my brother's decision, and she's kind of looking to all of you people. I'm going to say, Sir Emory, you immediately recognize both this Triton's name and like who he is. He's like the new magic. He's like naturopathic medicine version of a magician. You know, like but like hyper effective and really like no laws, but really like deep in the lore of it. Now, you recognize this, Sir Emory, and all of you at the table do as well. As she's holding up her left hand, the one she duels with, she has a black mark of pith descending from her left ring finger.
Karina, you seem to have a black mark of pith descending from the left ring finger.
Everybody goes, that was not a quip. She goes, and she goes to get her gloves. I'm sure everybody is like hushed at that and confused for a moment. The man who was killed, they find a black mark on his chest. And everybody's deliberating what that means for now.
I am going to use my awakened mind and telepathically talk to Karina. And it sounds like my voice. And I'm going to say to her, leave the room. Now's a good time to leave the room. Everyone's distracted. Just leave the room. And I'll roll a persuasion.
Yeah, roll a persuasion.
26.
Insight. 26?
Mm-hmm.
She looks around frantically to see who's talking to her. Her brother comes up and goes, I'm so sorry, Karina. I suggest we take a recess. Does a recess sound good for everyone? Kind of general agreement. We shall take a quick break and return to Parliament. Thank you. Everybody kind of shuffles off. Karina quickly darts out ahead of the group and kind of turns a corner.
And I follow her, trying to be stealthy as I can.
She has her rapier in her hand, and she's prepared to lunge out at whoever appears.
For the record, stealth is a 22.
Okay. Because she's on high alert, I'm going to roll for her. She does not detect you.
Okay. Are we alone?
As alone as you can be. There are people leaving people could turn the corner at any moment.
Okay. Still keeping my distance, telepathically speaking to her, I'm going to say, okay, you're going to get real mad, but please.
Before you finish that sentence, I'm already real mad. Where are you?
Don't overreact.
She's whipping around with her sword.
And I step out of the shadows, and I drop Mask of Many Faces so that she sees that it's me. And I'm
She's
gonna
holding the
say,
sword up to her face.
I'm going to say, normally, please put that down. I'm here to talk. That's all. 23.
She goes, okay. And then after that, we will duel.
What? Why?
We will duel, and I will kill you if you fail to perform.
What? That's insane. I thought you'd be happy to see me.
No, being gone for 4 years is insane. Dueling someone because you're angry at them is perfectly normal. Happens in court every day.
What if I refuse?
Then I will kill you.
You'd kill your husband?
Okay. That is also something that happens in court frequently. Not very often, but marital disputes are common. Honey, I know you as well as I know you when I married you, which is not at all. And I still love you. But disappearing for 4 years is inexcusable.
I think you mean surviving for 4 years.
You have way too much gold to just survive.
You talk to me in my own brain, walk out from the shadows, and then turn into another person, and you claim to have struggled to survive out there.
Listen, I've struggled because everyone's trying to kill me. Always. Forever.
You hear in your mind, well, now one more is. She goes, I'm so sorry. Did I say that?
Shit.
I would like to try and roll to disarm her and kiss her.
Okay. We'll make this attack to hit.
A literal disarming kiss.
So would you want this to be some kind of acrobatics or just an attack to disarm?
We'll make this a contested acrobatics. So you can roll yours. I will pull up her character sheet.
19.
You go in to try and kiss her. She flicks the blade out of your own hand, gets your hand in a pinch, so your wrist, and then tilts your wrist over so you're forced to your knees, and then she pecks you on the forehead. Very bold, very fast moving, really very good. And she goes, well, I'm about to flee on a airship, and I think it appropriate to bring my husband with me.
Well, you see, that's the thing. I'm apparently the rightful king.
Oh, okay. I'm the queen. You're the queen ipso facto. I'm gonna say story throughout, because Karina, when we first met her, was very mousy and everything. You can tell she's been hardened a bit. She's gone through a lot of training. She's not this doe-eyed girl that you met, 10 years or 4 years ago. Well, longer than that, 10 years ago.
Well, either way, your brother's going to try and kill me. Costayan would definitely try and kill me. I
don't see any Costayan here, and you see her lightning scar from coming down from her neck. And my brother's not coming on the ship.
Well, where are you going?
Hell if I know. But Sir Emory Warren seems to have a good idea. And I have no reason to distrust him. He's a little snarky, though.
Well, I'm worried about you because, well, your hand. That's the whole reason that I linked with you in the first place. And apparently you can link with me as well. Have you been able to do this long? Is this new? Is this...
She kind of peels off her glove again, and you see it. It's this long black mark descending her hand. It's like a long tentacle. She goes, as soon as this has appeared, I've been able to do that. And this has appeared about 2 hours ago.
So right in line with the earthquake.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to pull back my hair and show the one on my forehead.
So this is
I feel like I already had one somewhere else, but this one's new. And I'm going to take a piece of my, and I'm going to say, and obviously having one of these is not a good thing. So I'm going to take a piece of my shirt and I'm going to tear it, and I'm going to basically make like a do-rag to cover it up.
Okay. She goes, well, great. I hope to see you on the ship, mysterious guard. And she walks away. She walks back to the parliament room.
Okay. To myself, I'm just going to say, well, that went better than expected. And I make myself a guard of it again and then go back into the group or main room.
All right. Sir Emory Warren, I would love to prompt a interaction between you and Qiao.
I was actually going to ask if I recognize him.
You probably wouldn't recognize him by sight, but you've heard his name announced, and he's well known enough. He's kind of like the Indiana Jones of this unique historical archaeology. He's a very capable magician. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So yeah, I'll say that Edward actually comes up to Qiao and he goes, it's wonderful to meet you. I'm sorry that we couldn't meet under better auspices. Costayan was a dear friend of mine. He still is. I don't know if actually that's improper to assume that you know Costayan. But it looks as if you do. You met him in the depths.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes, I do. He wishes you well, I'm sure.
Oh, right. Well, I wish you would visit more often, but I understand.
Edward, when are you going to introduce me to Qiao?
Oh, excuse me. This man, one of my trusted colleagues, is Sir Emory
Sir
Warren.
Emory Warren.
He's a magician of some renown, and I'm sure you'd have a lot to talk about with magic. I personally don't enjoy the stuff.
Well, I'm
you,
sure.
You hear from the hooded figure next to Qiao.
Edward comes up and talks to you for a second, and then leaves you two on your own.
Indeed. Well, I'm sure we'll have much to talk about on our expedition. You are coming with, correct?
It seems as though that is the case. It is good to meet you, Sir Warren. And I'm
Good.
gonna
Wouldn't have it any other way.
I look at Qiao.
You blow a kiss at Qiao? What do you do?
I just like look next to me at him. Look for it again.
I'm going to lean forward and I'm going to extend my hand, and I'm going to say, your work on runecraft was instrumental in me understanding what I was doing wrong.
Nerd.
I'm going to say, I like to think of your work as a mirror to my own. It is a pleasure to meet
I am very happy to make your acquaintance too, and I'm glad you found the research into runes so enlightening. And for this trip, it should be quite the opportunity as well. Opportunities like this for men like us only come around 3 or 4 times in a lifetime.
Yes, indeed. I would love the opportunity to exchange notes and perhaps see if there is some overlap, perhaps.
I've never seen Qiao this excited before.
Qiao's a magic nerd.
I'm going to prompt this from you guys as well. You guys are seeing this dead man who's still in the Parliament room. He hasn't quite been cleaned up yet. And you see some people start to move his body, some like servants. You see that the marking that was on his stomach, or that was on his chest, excuse me, has started to slow down in its movement, and it's still there, but it's fading. And I'll say, Sir Emory Warren, you recognize this immediately as a glyphic sigil. This is something that, yeah.
My lord, that appears to be a glyphic sigil.
That's silly.
Well, what does that mean?
Glyphic, meaning a non-text inscription. Sigil signifies that it is indeed intelligent, and intelligent inscription is an inscription.
Please use common.
Did you guys not catch that?
Oh, freaking weirdos! What was that? Can I have that in like tiny words?
Oh. Let me see how small I can make this.
I could just listen to this for hours.
This mark here, this one on the man, this mark, was caused by Arcana. It was caused by magic rather than the mark causing magic.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, like, everyone but these noticed the black mark on my chest, right?
No, yeah, it just looks like a tuft of fur. Addison, I want you to roll me an Arcana check as well as you, Qiao. Alex, what was it, Phil?
Was I able to read said glyph?
No, you weren't.
It wasn't in like deep speech or anything, or celestial?
No, it wasn't deep speech.
Dirty.
What'd you get?
Oh, I got a 19.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, both of you recognize it's fading as you're attempting to study it, but you recognize that the glyphic sigil is correct, but it looks like the scrawlings of a child. That's like the best way to describe it. It looks like some sort of like some kid was trying to draw something and was really angry about it. And then, like, he drew a face and then an eyes and mouth, but it's in this strange format of this like glyphic, like ancient language. It looks like a picture, but it was like a crude drawing. And some of the things that are fading out, you recognize are words in another language. Like it's as if it's like a spell with a doodle on it almost.
Can I
I think I
since I
figured out
see
what's
that
happening here.
Never mind.
I don't know. I'll have to get with you on what languages I speak. But Sir Emory speaks 4 languages in addition to Wessex. So do I know what language that is?
You got a 19. You don't know what language is in that yet. You can read it. You know it is, and this is probably enough to cause like a full-on manic episode in Emory. You know it is related to whatever Orellan glyph or whatever Orellan runes you've been studying before. The spell itself, not the doodle.
My
Not
God.
like primordial or anything, is it?
I mean, Orellan is as close to that as you can imagine, but he'd know more than I do.
I mean, the only reason I ask is because I speak primordial. It's a Triton thing. So
It's not. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
It's not Triton Primordial. No.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm going to take a notebook and I'm going to make a detailed sketch of that and any kind of words that come along with it. And I'll say, you all realize what this means, correct?
No.
It means that more likely than not, this man did not inscribe this rune upon himself. It was put there by magic. He probably didn't even do this to himself. It's a manifestation. It's a symptom rather than the cause of the disease.
Considering the amount of people I've seen this happen to in the last 30 minutes, surprise, surprise.
So Emory's eyes go wide with excitement, and he says, "There are more!" And he preps his pen and begins to look around for people to sketch their Pythic.
I'm going to say our Lyre here, our bard, had this happen to her, and when I attempted to dispel the magic, it rebounded. It was as if a god was brushing away my magic.
I'm gonna say more like a child.
I'm gonna look at this random guard. What?
Well, I remember right.
Is his voice totally different than it was when he said?
Extremely. Roll me a performance check with triple disadvantage. Roll me 3 dice and give me the last.
Performance? Okay. First one is an 18 plus 5. Second one's a 19 plus 5. And then a 15.
A dirty 20.
It's a pretty convincing cover, but you recognize this guard now. Like, you aren't going to forget this guard who suddenly changed his voice. But he still seems to be a guard to you.
Why are you talking to me? My name is Sir Emory Warren. Don't you have some streets to be guarding?
Pith was locked in a cage with a man.
Oh, please.
Please. You were there when that happened, Qiao.
That's true.
Memory serves anyway.
I'm just gonna look at this random guard. He is right. I don't know how that. Okay.
Are you trying to say that the goddess Pith conceived a child with some man? The ink blot thing on the mask just kind of goes a little nuts for a little bit.
Kind of phases in and out. I'm going to give you this for free. You remember that the man in the cage had brown hair, and this noble has brown hair.
Is Lyre's hair brown?
It's orange.
Not all of it.
I'm like a tabby cat.
What about the man that we fought earlier?
So I said he had brown hair. I kind of want to retcon that. He actually had black hair. And he didn't look anything like this noble.
Okay.
He was very handsome.
I'm going to give you guys this for free.
Go on.
As well, because you guys know magic. The centers of the body in magic, like the centers of like healing and everything like that, are the head, the chest, and the sacral groin area.
So why did the queen get hers on the finger?
Well,
Yes.
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe you should go ask the queen.
Is that a third accent?
No, what are you talking about?
I love the idea that I'm just going to increasingly give you disadvantage until you finally fail. But no, we'll hold out.
Well, I turn from fistful of coppers guard with that accent, and I'm going to say, well, I just this is clearly some extension of Pith's power. Is there any connection? Can I put anything together from the people that I've seen that is any kind of intersection, or does it just seem completely random?
That it is some kind of what?
Well, is
Like
there
any-
some kind of constant in the people that have been, other than the symbol? Like, can I put it together?
Roll me a raw intellect check.
I'm also
And do the same. Yeah, everybody who wants to. Roll a raw intellect check.
Well, I was going to say I was going to describe the people that I came across.
Give them the help action?
Yeah, essentially giving him the help action.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So roll again.
Mhm.
Okay, 27. Oh wait, no, intellect. 24. Sorry, intellect, not Arcana.
Okay.
That's an 18.
Which is good because I rolled the natural 1 on the first one. Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome.
18.
I do what I can.
What'd you get, Addison?
I
what?
got a 12.
12.
wait.
Okay.
I'm
Hey,
not
yeah.
adding to the game.
Sorry. Is it just Arcana? Or is it?
Intelligence.
Intellect. Raw intellect.
Okay.
I got an 18.
Oh, hell yeah.
You heard me.
That is a nat 20, 25.
Yeah.
Max out intellect.
Wow. And what was your score, Alex?
24. He was at
24.
19,
Okay.
19 plus 5.
So we're going to go in order of who had the lowest to the highest score. Lyre. The first thing you remember looking at this noble is your mother had brown hair and had a similar face shape. Daniel, what Corvus remembers is that, what does he remember? The only time Corvus felt anything divine from Pith, outside of him using abyssal magic just when he punches, but that's not Pith. That's just accessing the depths, basically. The first time you remember feeling anything distinct about Pith was when you saw a Linden, and is now when you're seeing these markings. Alex, you know that blood magic, specifically magic that's related to relatives and sacrifice and things that have to do with genealogy, is very, very powerful. And you know that those contracts are really hard to break, and they're really and that's the only thing you could think of that would be naturally in the world that would rebuff your spell that strongly, other than actually a god. And Addison, Sir Emory Warren immediately remembers Sir Clippy's strict sealing and remembers that the loophole was sex with other people. And you think that whatever, like, I'm going to frankly lay it all out for you, because a nat 20 to a 25 is so ridiculously impossible on a straight intelligence check. You think that this is some sort of genealogical curse that has been placed on some common ancestor, and by extension, all the people that common ancestor's descendants have slept with.
Wow. So many of us are related to each other.
I'll say, this seems to be some kind of genealogical curse.
I just sort of mutter under my breath, fuck!
It likely affects not only the direct descendants, but also anyone with whom the direct descendants have slept.
You're real proud of that, aren't you?
I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say, who is this guard? What are you
Put
doing?
the tongue on you.
I'm going to say Karina goes, I like him. I think he's mouthy.
Fine. The mouthy guard comes on the ship too. That's it. No more passengers. The mouthy guard and the cat. You have the something with pith, yes? You were pithed up.
Who,
He's
me?
just accused you of being picked up.
The cat. The cat.
Oh, Lyre.
I'm like, are you accusing me of being drugged?
Are you accusing me of being a liar?
I'm not a liar.
No,
Oh,
the
you
guard
were a
is
liar.
I am a liar.
She's a liar? No, I'm liar. So you're a liar.
Who's on
first? What's on
first?
second? I don't know.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
am bound by Castellan to stay with Qiao, so that's one more.
Fine, one
If he's
more.
going.
We can clear out a broom cupboard.
This is kind of happening right as the Congress is reassembling. And okay. This is kind of happening as the Congress is reassembling. And before people have even sat down, this is as Justicar Malekith is lining up. You see Edward says, as my first executive action as a king, as acting king while my sister is recovering, I hereby send Sir Emory Warren and all of his selected compatriots and my sister on a mission to locate New Wessex for settlement. All those who approve say aye. A bunch of people say aye. Malekith goes, no! And is like screaming, but he's like, majority vote succeeded. Sir Emory Warren, you are free to take your leave at any time.
Let us go.
Go. I got nothing better to do.
Just this. Did I have any further mandates past just saying?
Get some
hey,
letters to deliver.
We're cool. Okay. I'm going to find a page or something who can take these letters for me to the various nobles that they're meant to be delivered to.
Okay.
I could do that.
Okay. Can I at least be a little suspicious of this guard?
You can be
Like,
extremely suspicious of this.
I don't think he's like.
Nope, he's not a noble guard. He's.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say no. It's quite all right. I like walking around sometimes, and I'm gonna leave and go find like a royal page or something that can do this for me.
Mm.
All right. Well,
Okay.
don't trust Jerry. He can't tell left from right. So
I'm gonna turn around and say that's 4, and then I'm gonna go back to what I was doing.
Wow. Okay, you find this small little page girl who's, in like a sweet little dress, and just like, okay, thank you so much. We will direct these directly to the Justicar as well as the Parliament. Thank you.
Hand her a gold, and I'm gonna say, you deliver these, please.
Yes, sir. I understand. Your insurance is taken with serious intent.
And then I'll go back to Sir Emory.
You see her walk
So
up directly.
Page there.
What?
Is it quite the well-spoken page?
She walks up directly to the Justicar, hand puts them on in front of his area, and gives like a really deep bow to him.
Oh, is it just for him?
Well, she's looked through them, but she's given up the one for him specifically.
Oh,
right away.
okay. I thought she just put the whole stack there. I was like, I
You
feel
see
like
her,
a
like-
bougie dude.
You see her looking through all of them, and like they're for different senators and different Parliament members. And she's handing out. She's actually, before you leave, she hands one to Karina as well.
Excellent. I'm gonna go up to Sir Warren and I'm going to say, truly, it flies. Tell me, and I'm just gonna kind of walk out, exit scene right.
Okay.
I'm geeking out over Sir Emory Warren.
Also, would you like to take a moment to, well, I'll let you expose what you want to expose as you get there. So anything anybody else wants to do before we move to this next scene? And we're all together, finally.
I'm going to approach Lyre.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, if it's some kind of genealogical curse, does that mean you got human descendants?
I don't know if you can see most of my face, but I'm not completely covered in fur, dude.
I'm sorry. You happen to know how far back they go? What your family name is? All that
Well,
just stuff.
do I know my mother's last name? Because I can do my father's last name, so.
I'm going to say she had one. Defiant Edge. Yeah, Edge is your father's last name. I'm going to say she didn't. She made up her own. So her name was like Globe, but from what you can tell, she didn't know her own last name. Like she was born without knowing who her parents were.
I don't know who my mom's family is. I'm like from that ethereal shore, dude. It's my clan. Don't wear it.
Well, makes things interesting, I suppose.
Well, you grow up an orphan. See what your last name is.
You see one of the other guards comes up to you, Johan, is like, dude, we don't talk to these people. We just keep them safe. You really don't have to communicate to them. You're muted, Addison.
Oh no, it's fine. He's coming with us.
Excuse me, Mr. Fancy. All right. He just walks off.
Good man.
To be fair, I do look like a commoner. Like, let's be fair. I look like a commoner.
I mean, you've been with, Qiao for a while, and like on an emissary ship. You could have nice clothes.
Did Qiao dress me?
I'm not going to put that on him, but you don't have to look like a commoner right now.
Alex, did you dress my character?
Let me see. I have a charisma of +0. So, no.
Also, as go on.
I'm gonna make an executive decision and look like and say you look kind of like you're kind of dressed like a porcelain doll idea of like what a noble looks like. Like it's like really straightforward and on the nose and like no current fashions whatsoever.
Okay, so I have a lot of charisma. Could I have just like
fixed it up?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Okay.
In response to her tried growing up an orphan comment, I'm just gonna quietly say, chuckle a little bit, and then say, try growing up with everything.
Who is this guard?
Okay, I'm actually going to do something for flavor here. You hear Karina reach into your head, Johan, and go testing. Then you hear it go quiet, and it moved toward Lyre. It goes testing. Lyre, you hear someone talking in your mind.
I'm gonna respond to Karina and just say, not now, not ever.
Okay.
Am I like freaking out? I'm freaking out internally. I'm like.
Okay, you can try to do sort of like, this has been a chaotic about 4 hours of your life. Earthquake, carnage, death. It's been pretty rough. As you guys come outside, you see that an angry populace, an angry mob has started to appear around the castle walls. They haven't gotten violent yet, but it doesn't look good. It looks like they're going to have to do some quick thinking or political movement to appease this riot. You hear people like, you're muted again, Addison. You hear people saying like doomsday stuff like, this is a sign that the Parliament's decision was wrong. We should take back over the Old Wessex and move to the mainland. People are kind of arguing that.
What are you all so upset about?
How big is the crowd?
It's probably about 400 to 800 people, somewhere in that range.
What's the distance?
You guys have walked out of the castle walls. There's a long courtyard that goes very far south and then is there. I'm going to say it's about a football field, so 300 feet.
Gotcha, never mind.
Man, I really wanted this random guard to start giving you like this inspirational speech. So bad.
Well, you see Edward is getting ready to do that. He's walking out on a pavilion that's separate from you guys, that's overlooking a courtyard, and he's going to make some really important rolls after you guys leave. I am about to have a nervous breakdown.
I would help him, but despite Sir Emory's wit, I have a -2 to charisma. Like I said, he's got a face you want to punch, but because of the armor, you'll never be able to.
How far away from Edward?
You're about, we'll say it's about 30 feet. We'll be kind.
Gotcha. I'm going to telepathically in his head just say, bitch. And I'd like to roll an intimidation check to throw him off his game.
Roll, yeah. What'd you get?
That's a 24.
Okay, I'm going to say, you see him visibly shaken, he turns around. Look, I was going to do this anyway. You see Karina look at him and go, and just wave, and you can't hear the message. And he's more shook in addition because his sister just talked to him in his mind. But he doesn't recognize that it's you. He partially thinks his sister just called him a bitch. And now he's like,
well, I very much said it in my voice.
In your voice? Okay. I'll have him roll with disadvantage, but he's starting to give his speech about how, they're going to move to the mainland. As this is happening...
Can I try to do something, pull a stunt?
Yeah, for sure.
I am going to cast Sir Emory's Lightning Advance. So I turn into a bolt of lightning, and I teleport up right next to him. And I say, "It is correct, populace. I, Sir Emory Warren, will lead an expedition to the mainland to find a new home for New Wessex. Now, onward!" And I cast it again. That's my 2/3 for the day. I cast Emory's Lightning Advance again, and I teleport back.
That is awesome. Okay, crack of thunder. He peers up. He's like mid-conversation, but you deliver this powerful statement. So that will take out the disadvantage that Johan gave him. As this is happening, you see the trees start to rustle and leaves start to fly around. Would you like to describe your airship, Addison?
Indeed. So it is I forget what kind of a ship it is. 1 second.
A sloop.
All right. We have ourselves a sloop here. It has a big silk sail. It's bright, vibrant silk. It's emblazoned with gold in some kind of runes. If anyone would like to try to read them, you're welcome to read them. I'll never tell you what they are.
What language is it?
It is not a language. It is a glyph.
Nope. Wait, that's not. Never mind.
It's a picture.
Nope.
It's a big old sloop. It's real fast. And looking off over the bow is a tiefling with bright silver hair.
A tiefling. Oh, I love it. Yeah, tiefling, most piratey tiefling you ever see in your life. She's standing at the prow. She moves back and starts, handling the wheel, gets it back from someone else. And you guys all got on this ship to the cheers of this riot that's now kind of turned into an adoring crowd. I didn't expect you guys to do that. That's a cool move. I really think that would placate a lot of people.
As we get on the ship, I'll say, that may have been a poor decision. I have expended my most powerful spells for the day, but I think it was well worth it.
I'll just say, wow, impressive.
Who is this guy? I love this meme of, who is this guy?
The worst part is the other guards are going to get mouthy now.
If I just get all chatty, I'll get a promotion. We could set on a cool trip.
No, this guard's never gonna come back. Like, they'll see this guard leave, and then we'll come back with Johan, and they'll be like, "Oh, no, you don't want to be promoted."
So everybody who wasn't engaged in that exchange, Lyre, Qiao, and Corvus, I want you to roll me an insight check, because a lot of the Parliament has come out to the front and watch you guys leave.
That's a strong natural 1.
Wow.
15.
15. Corvus? Are you there, Daniel?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I totally spaced there for a second. What am I doing?
Roll an
check.
insight.
It was
Okay,
a
wait.
4 total, by the way.
What am I rolling on again, anyway?
The people in the Parliament
again.
that have come out to see you leave.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay, that is... Ooh, nice. I got a 23.
Wow. Okay. Alex, you're just swept up in the moment. You can't see, anybody's intent from here. Lyre, you see Justicar Malekith, and he's looking at you with an extremely dark face on his look, dark face on his look, and he looks like the kind of men that you would, sleep around with to get their money in like a life that you've left behind. And he looks like one of those people after he's decided to kill you to avoid any sort of shame. Daniel, you see him very clearly give orders to another person nearby him to take care of you guys.
As in take us out.
Yes.
Dinner.
Who's the other guy?
If I keep whining and dining him, he won't kill me.
This is in front of everyone, right?
Yeah, I mean he's hiding it well, but with a 24.
Okay, I'm gonna look at Qiao and say, Qiao, that man just ordered someone to kill us.
What? I wasn't thinking. What? I'm like looking at the runes on Sir Emory's ship, and I'm like completely like, wait, what?
The man ordered someone to kill us. Do I kill him now?
I'm gonna look at which man, the Justicar?
The Justicar.
Oh, God.
Would you like to
Mr.
interrupt
Warren.
him, Addison?
I look over, Mr. Warren. The leader of your court just ordered a hit on us. What would you like to do? I am sworn to protect Qiao.
Oh,
I am inclined to take out any who intend him harm.
Okay, let's go.
Go on.
Addison and then Addie. What was that?
I'll handle this. I am very well versed in matters of court.
This
Just the
isn't-
car.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you. As you say this, your captain's like, and away we go!
Did you
And
plan
the
to tell
ship
somebody to murder us?
takes off into the sky. I just had to do that. I was thinking that's what you were going to do. But what did you want to say?
Did I hear you say someone
Addie
was
first.
trying to murder us?
In the courtyard. I didn't realize we had gotten on the ship. So I was going to dimension door Alex and I onto the ship.
Oh, I see. No, you guys were already on the ship. Sorry.
Yeah.
What, Corvus? Yeah.
The guy that the Justicar told to kill us, or told to get the hit, is there any way I could maybe hit him with a dart without being noticed?
I'm going to say, because you were deciding to do so as the ship was taking off, I'm going to let you do it, but with disadvantage because you're doing it mid the ship moving.
Yeah, because it would be like, and away we go. I'm doing something, so I'm perfectly okay with that. Let's just do it here. It's not going to be great. If only it wasn't with disadvantage. Oh wait, that's the same way. So that's a 13. If it wasn't with disadvantage, it'd be a nat 20.
Oh,
Wow.
Those are always the worst.
I mean, he's just a dude. So I'm going to say you flick it, and you actually think that it connected, but in all the chaos of what's going on, it probably would have hidden it pretty well.
Well,
how much damage?
assuming it hits, it would do 8 damage plus, the whole poisoning thing. It did max, so.
I'm going to, like, after you throw that, I'm going to sort of, like, grab your arm a little bit. And I'm just going to say, what are you doing?
Who is this guy?
You just lay hands on an emissary.
What are you doing?
You're attacking a random person. I'm a guard.
They are duty bound to
Insight.
protect people, you know.
Insight.
Karina says that. Okay. What did you get?
Okay, I got an insight of a 23.
My deception is a 28.
Holy Hera!
I'm going to say you look at him and you don't think he's not a guard. You look at Karina, and with that 23, you're like, oh, something's going on. She is like giggling, like this whole time she's just been like getting red in the face, like, like enjoying herself immensely. With a 23, you immediately know that Karina knows something.
I'm going to say, you said he was trying to kill us. And
He was told to do so.
And then I'm going to break accent and talk normally, but quieter. And I'm going to say, sometimes it's better to let them think they've succeeded than to take out the assassin right away.
Good sir,
you're
your
right.
voice seems to have changed.
I don't know what you mean.
That's better. To the winery.
So I was just like, I'm fine as long as you keep consistent. Keep the same voice. What did you say, Qiao? What you want to do?
I'm going to say, Corvus, and I'm going to turn to the guard, and I'm going to say, that's 5. Corvus,
Your mom is 5.
from what I understand, and do note that I am a relative newcomer to noble society, but from what I understand, the general practice is you kill them later when people aren't watching.
That's
What
what
general practice is bring mercy to those who need it at whatever time it occurs. I'm just gonna walk off.
Lighten up, guys. Like, we need to like chill. Y'all crazy. Y'all wilding over here. This one's killing people. That one can't talk in the right accent. I'm uncomfortable.
The tiefling captain who's like standing at the wheel yells at me, oh, you're right. They're right down awful. Can't stand them. But I can't stand Sir Emory already, so it's more of the normal. In fact, they're less worse than he is.
That's the ticket, I'll say, and I'll throw them 100 gold.
You keep that going, and I'll keep saying you're the most charming man in the world, Emory.
Great.
I'm like,
charming.
I want to go to like the prow of the ship and just like get away from these people. Like, I'm gonna go play some music for everyone. And like,
so we start to chill out. You guys take off and are going extremely fast. I mean, not fast like airplane fast. You're probably going to go about 100 miles per hour. But because of some magic that's on the front of the ship, it's like you aren't in like blustered by the wind. It's just like a chill breeze, you know? So it's comfortable to be on the ship. It's actually really cool, just flying directly over everything. You're playing at the front. What else are other people doing?
I'm with Karina.
Okay.
I am actually going to go to Karina because I want to know what is up with this guard at this point, and I know that she knows something.
Okay. Emory, what would you be doing?
I am going to go check on my smuggling compartment and make sure that the spellbook I put there is still there. Got to make sure my backup spellbook's still there.
All right. I'm going to let you do this for free. You see it. It's safe. You're good.
Good. To the winery.
The
winery consists of like 4 bottles of wine that are also in the smuggling compartment.
I love it. You're looking at the book. Oh, looks good. To the winery. Qiao, what would you be doing?
Actually, I was going to attempt to find Sir Warren and begin explaining blade singing to him and seeing if he has any insights, because I've been trying to refine my craft, and even though he works on a completely different set of magic, I'm just thinking that having another magically minded individual to bounce things off of would be helpful. So
I feel like I'm
Okay.
so left out in all of the magical stuff. I'm like, I'm magically inclined too, Qiao.
I've been around you for 6 months. Why don't you hang out with me? So, where is your smuggling department? Can you describe where it is on the ship? You're muted.
I'm muted again. There we go. It's probably just down in the like in the pantry. I would imagine
Okay.
it's down in the ships. You know, the pantry of the galley. You move a couple of crates of limes out of the way, and mutter a certain arcane phrase, and it unlocks. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna start. These 2 scenes are gonna be happening at the same time. You hear some light music coming from a lyre playing at the front of the ship. Before Corvus comes up, Karina comes and talks to you, and she's like leaning over. The first thing she says is, "I wanted to tell you this because I think it's important. When I killed that man, I felt something, not just anger, because I felt a little bit of that, but I was able to control it. I took something from him. And I don't know what it was, but after that happened, I could speak to you in your mind. Or I think that's what happened. It all happened within such a short period of time. Do you know anything about that?"
No.
Hey, Corvus, you walk up at this time.
Yeah, glasses.
Who's the god?
He's just a god.
Don't give me that crap.
She talks to you in your mind. How do I know you outside of knowing you? He worked at the...
Telepathically, I say, part of your entourage.
Entourage. She was my
He
entourage
worked at
at one point.
You know much more than you're letting on. Who is he?
Lifelong friend who worked at the castle.
Listen, I'll tell you who I am. Name's Jonathan Greenwater.
Yes, that's his name, Jonathan Greenwater.
I'm not going to trust anything that comes out of your mouth about who you are. Personally, I don't know how much I care, but I like to know who I'm traveling with, especially when they're lying to me. So, who is he?
Jonathan Greenwater.
Jonathan Greenwater.
I did not address you.
That's what you say. Jonathan Greenwater. Jonathan Greenwater.
Can I see this going on?
Oh yeah, it's a scene. She's spent like the past 4 years becoming super hardened, like combat wise. She hasn't done a lot in court or doesn't done any flirting. So this whole is very shocking to her suddenly.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up. Corvus,
Okay.
You're not supposed to talk to the queen like this. Relax.
And how exactly am I talking to the queen?
You're intimidating her.
I don't believe I asked for your opinion either.
Well, you got it. That's too bad.
You got it. But this guy is suspicious. But we're not supposed to talk to the queen like that.
See, we talk to the queen because she knows who the man is. So, I assume you're interested in the hot goss?
Of course.
Then talk to the queen.
Anybody here's a dangerous stranger. It's the one that wears a mask. You can plainly see my face, her face, your face, everybody else's face.
Can we see your face?
Swab on his face. Take off your mask. Show us that you're who you say you are.
We're not supposed
We'll
to take
throw
off.
you off the ship.
He's just like that. He protects Qiao though, so it's cool. He's cool. I'm like rubbing up on your shoulder.
Seems pretty sus to me.
You're the one whose accent has changed 5 times, so I don't want to hear
I
it.
think we're going on 6.
This is the same accent I've had the entire time. Let's talk about.
No, before you were like Fistful of Dollars. Now you're like a B character in Fistful of Dollars.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my eyes and say, like, in my head, like, this guy seriously thinks he's fooling us?
Okay,
All
so
right,
as this
fine. I took some acting classes back in the university, and I've tried to perfect my accent work for a while now. It doesn't work well. You caught
Karina
me.
tries to
Wow.
Karina tries to jump in on this, and she's like, "Yes, he's a very talented guard. He likes training with swords. He likes improv comedy. He taught me how to ride a horse." And she's just totally ruining everything you're saying as you're saying it.
From beneath the deck, Sir
Yeah.
Emory yells,
Now-
"Good man!"
Is not time.
We're gonna go back to the people down below deck while this is happening, and you guys are talking. I think because you got the 25 before, Addison, I think you're thinking about how these points in the body typically represent connections to magic or like power, basically. And so, like, you know, people, and it's really generic, but like people who are more intellectual lead with their head, people who are more, you know, like confident or, you know, more physical lead with their chest, and people are like hiding something or something like that lead with their groin. You know, like it's very like pseudo magic, pseudo behavior stuff. But like you know, you've seen marks on the chest.
Interesting. We'll have to speak with your cat companion. The liar, deceiver.
Oh yes, I see how you could. Well, sometimes, but her name is Lyre, actually. That's not her profession, maybe. Although she might have stolen my father's loot, but I'm not certain. I haven't seen it.
I stole his lyre, actually.
Oh, she stole his lyre, the one he had before.
Capital joke.
You don't know that I stole it because I disguised it.
Maybe? I don't know. I wasn't there. I honestly don't care. That's not why I'm here.
Here, before we continue, matter of importance, take this wine, and these
Okay.
glasses, and come with me.
Okay, I'll follow. I'll follow him.
Please continue.
Let him have some dark secret.
I'll say yes. So Warren, I just wanted to kind of share my work with you and my insights. I've been struggling recently to move forward, and I've just been focusing on the nature of magic, and I wondered if you might have any insights, and I'm going to kind of describe the moments, those 2 moments that I had regarding like this sort of magical, I don't know if this is kind of an accurate description of how I felt, but like this singular, like wholeness of magic that I experienced. And I'm just going to try to just explain that as best I can, and see if he's ever felt anything like that.
Can I see if I've read anything about that?
For sure. Okay. So you guys are kind of talking about like the intricacies of this. It kind of sounds like to you, Sir Emory, magic there's a reason why you stick to the language of magic. And that's because it protects you from wild magic. It protects you from stuff that can go crazy and hurt you, and like, you know, like it's too much. There's a reason why you kind of control it with language so that it does what you want when you want. What he's describing kind of sounds like some guy just like sticking his hand in a blacksmith's furnace and just pulling out raw molten lava, basically.
So what
Like-
you're describing sounds like you're sticking your hand in a blacksmith's furnace and pulling out molten lava.
I hate this!
With that mindset.
I love it, I hate this!
I'm just gonna like I'm gonna be silent and for a second. I'm gonna say, like in a good way.
Well, it served you so far, hasn't it?
I mean, yes.
In a good way.
Sounds okay.
Good
Thank you.
molten lava from the blacksmith furnace. Just be careful not to drop it. Hardened glass is difficult to get off the floor.
So, I mean, for the most part, yeah, it kind of sounds like, to him, it sounds like you're, like he's described, you're reaching into something that is dangerous, but it hasn't hurt you yet, and it seems like you have control over it, so.
Thank you. So, Warren.
Always happy to offer insight when I can.
I love it and I hate it. Every time it happens, I'm like, oh, he's just going to say what I say.
I'm gonna go. We're gonna lead the way up to the top of the ship and find the other folk.
Okay, I'm gonna set this up for timing. As you guys walk up there, Phil, you take 33 damage. Karina takes 17 as you feel a sharp pain, and you hear 2 sharp pops from very, very far away, ricocheting around the sky.
All right, at that I drop Mask of Many Faces and I'm no longer a guard.
Good sir, you seem to have changed your face.
You said 33?
33, yep.
Do I recognize this man?
Immediately. I mean, we could say you don't for, flavor, but the guy stole your destiny, arguably. You probably remember what he looks like.
Stole implies it was bad that it happened.
That's a good point, too. Yeah, it's probably very, very good for you.
I nudge up on Corvus. Look at this guy telling you
And
to not
I
wear.
was right.
I'm
I'm assuming you guys also heard me say, can we see your face?
Mm-hmm. Oh, from down the deck?
Yeah, from earlier. Well, not necessarily the bottom, Qiao or Emory, but that was one of the comments I had, and he was like, we can't see your face behind the mask. I was like, well, can we see yours? Anyway.
You see some of the crew. There's only a handful of crew members, 2 or 3, but you hear the captain at the deck go, "We've got company!" And she starts to pitch the ship, and it turns to the side. We can start an initiative next session. I'm at a place where I have enough stuff that we can start this combat, but we are definitely not going to finish on time if we start this in earnest.
I'm 6, I could go either way.
I do not work.
I do.
I do. But it's also an hour earlier for me.
I would like to healing word Karina before we start.
Okay, that's great. Healing word, drop it. I'll put her hit points back.
Okay, that is 11 hit points for her.
Nice. You drop some healing on Karina. Okay. Anything else people want to do? Because we're in the middle of starting combat.
I mean, if I know if we're starting initiative, I won't do this.
Okay.
I'll cast Armor of Agathis on myself.
Okay, you see black magic appear. I'm going to let you guys basically get a surprise round because of how spacious this is.
Okay. Let me take a look here. Sorry, 1 second. I will cast sorry, lots of stuff.
You got a nat 20 on you, Phil. That's why it was so much damage.
It was an attack roll?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd like to use something against that.
Okay.
I wish you'd mentioned that earlier. That's no problem.
It's fine. We'll retcon.
I have something called entropic or entropic ward that allows me to impose disadvantage on that roll.
It is a surprise roll.
It is a reaction.
Part of me doesn't like that. I kind of want to nix that just because it was so much of a surprise. But I want to let you. He'll probably still hit. So we'll just say you take half damage if it's not another 20. It's a 19, so you almost get 20. So just take 17.
Okay.
And you actually, I don't think you can take reaction until you've taken a turn in combat.
See, that's what I thought. It was something like that.
Reaction at any time.
Well, but if you're under the
Otherwise-
surprise condition, you can't do it.
We can look up and talk about it next time.
Yeah. I don't think you guys are going to die in this encounter, but hey, it's possible.
I'm gonna right before I use my surprise round to start my blade song, I'm just gonna point and just kind of whisper to myself, I know that guard. and, and that's gonna be my cut to black.
I'm going to bonus action. Oh, go on.
No, go ahead. Go.
I'm going to bonus action, invoke the rune of the hills, and action cast blur.
Okay. All these things start happening all at once. I love the idea of as you're going into meditation, like as you're going into this like heightened state of awareness, you're like, I know that. Okay. So let's all roll initiative, and I'll get this set up.
I got a 23.
23. Okay.
A 14 from Sir Emory.
14 from Lyre.
I'm going to assume Lyre has a higher dex.
Plus, my dex is +8.
Oh, wow.
Meow.
What?
+8?
My dex. It's from my tabaxi side, guys.
It should be only +5 maximum, but...
It says +8 right here. +4. I'm dumb. It's in my
okay.
face.
Sir Emory
Gotcha.
rolls with intelligence rather than dex, and I have a +5.
Just roll a competitive, just D20 luck.
I don't care. You can take it. Go for it. I'm sick.
Lyre goes first. Okay.
Yeah, take it.
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
I'm like used to playing D&D on D&D Beyond on my phone and then talking on the computer, but I still don't have internet actually. So.
Oh, really? I'm so sorry. Corvus, we already got 23. Johan.
27.
Wow.
What? I roll with charisma instead of dexterity.
That's
For
silly.
initiative?
I get to add my dex modifier, or my charisma modifier to my initiative as per one of my rogue abilities.
Well, dang.
So I have a +8.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys start to take evasive action, the ship turns and you see a ship coming towards you from the far right, from the far left, and you just know there's another one on the other side of you as well. And you see a bunch of people with black hoods on, very tight to their face. It kind of looks like they're executioners, come up, and they have like stiletto daggers that are just really small, and they're starting to throw grappling hooks over to your ship. So I'm going to roll initiative for them. Wow, you guys are so lucky. Okay, as the ship levels out, we're just going to assume we're on an evil playing field unless you tell your captain to change something. And she's going to start trying to build up speed to outpace them. Johan leads off. You can take free perception checks, Sir Emory especially, to know who these ships are and how they even are here.
Okay, so are there people on our ship yet?
Not yet.
But they are connecting to our ship, is that correct?
Yes, they're going to be using their whole action next turn to get onto the ship to start attacking you.
How big is their ship?
It is slightly smaller than yours and less armored.
How big is the deck of their ship?
I'm going to say comparable to yours, only slightly smaller.
I need footage.
How big is the top of your ship, Emory? Probably 150 feet, maybe more.
I don't know off the top of my head. Let me take a look.
That's a big ship for a sloop.
Though the way you're saying that, I was thinking, what does Marcellus Wallace look like?
Sorry, it's going to be a minute.
You're
No
good.
worries. I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern, just at one of the ships, as they jump through the air.
So you want to time it for when they're jumping?
Yeah, so that it
then
hits
you'd have to
them
hold
as
your
they're
turn.
in the air. Yes, so that it hits them as they're in the air, incapacitates them, and they fall.
The sloop is 50 feet long. Does not say how wide. So I would imagine if it's 50 feet long, it's probably 15, 20 feet wide.
So yeah, about 200. No, that'd be more.
And the space in between us, or between the two ships?
Huh?
That would be about 1,000 square foot. We're going to say that the space in between you guys is about 60 feet. So they're going to cross that distance.
Okay. So yeah, as soon as they get within 120 feet, so as soon as they yes, the cat is here. As soon as they jump off of their ship, like the lot of them, I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern in an attempt, like I said, to incapacitate as many as I can so that they lose their grip and fall to their death.
Okay, I'm going to say, yeah, to simplify things, you can hit all of the people approaching on one side, just assuming they're all coming in around the same spot. So, yeah.
So that'll be a wisdom save for them once that happens.
Yeah, you can see about 7 people on that ship.
Let's see. We're in initiative now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So now it is Corvus's turn.
On just the other side of the ship from where Johan went, or was, or whatever, and was looking towards, I'm gonna go grab my short sword and ready attacks to cut ropes from the grapple hooks.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the other side, and ready in action to cut ropes as people get on or are closer to our side of the ship so that they're not able to, really do much about it. And then I'm also going to bonus action. I could have done this earlier with the other thing, but I'll bonus action my where is it? My Noxious Aura. And
you smell terrible.
Yeah, I spend a key point to turn my key into an aura of toxic miasma. So, yeah.
Okay. You do this. It's not pith magic, but it is abyss magic. So it doesn't have the same harsh angles or tentacle theme to it, but it is dark.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's Karina's turn. She pulls out her blade, runs over to the same place you are, and prepares to do the same thing. Now it is
She's within 5 feet of me.
No.
Okay, good. Just in case. I mean, if you enter it, it's fine. It's just you don't want to start there. It's only 5 feet away from me, though, so it's touch range.
Okay.
Anyway.
It's Alex's turn.
So it's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are no people on the ship right now, right?
No.
Okay. I'm going to take this opportunity I'm going to grab my Triton and I'm going to imbue it. I'm going to sink into my blade song, just kind of center myself, to start kind of feeling the world around me. But I'm going to draw on some of that darker magic. And I'm going to cast Shadow Blade at 3rd level. And just for flavor's sake, I just kind of want to encapsulate my trident in this shadowy energy. And I'm going to prepare for these pirates, I suppose, to get to where we are, because I can't currently reach them.
Okay.
Wait, did you say that there were grappling hooks?
They're throwing them now. They'll be throwing them on their turn and using all their turn to get over. But they could have some tricks up their sleeve. It's hard to know.
Okay, can I try to, like, are they grappling hooks like onto the side of the ship or on the like the top or what?
So roll me an insight check. Just so you can see if you can perceive what their intent is.
Okay, it's not very good. 13.
Okay.
Have my computer screen, please. Thank you.
Oh, talking to the cat. Okay. So you can tell that they have the grappling hooks as insurance, but they have backup plans basically. Like, it looks like that's not their only way to get on the ship.
Hey.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna wait for them to. I guess I will take up a position next to Corvus because I know that he's a really competent fighter, and that we can kind of create a front.
Okay.
Don't get within 5 feet of me.
Now we're on to Lyre.
Okay. So they haven't made it onto the ship yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I really wanted the dimension door and like torpedo their ship down, but
You can do whatever you'd like.
yeah, but I also don't want to die. So let's see. Anyone wearing full armor?
Not in the bandits. It looks like they're going for more of a dexterity thing.
Okay. Like, have they missed already on the first try of throwing their
No. Nobody has missed.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers then
Okay.
on the creature of my choice, which is one of the guys ready to jump.
What's the save? Or is
Save.
it attack?
It is a Wisdom 16 save.
That is only a 10. What happens to him?
That will be 3d6 damage, and so that's 13 damage, and then they'll also go away. I can't see you. Dice. Terrible racking pain, and they'll make a wisdom saving throw on a failed save. Their reaction is to move as far away from me as possible.
Okay.
They can do that really quickly if they jump off.
They cannot move into a dangerous ground.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so roll that damage.
Where'd it go? That is 4 damage. But
Rough.
not making the jump.
Yeah. Okay, now that is on to Sir Emory.
Yes. What is the most number of opponents I could fit within a 15-foot area?
As it stands right now, you could probably get 2.
Okay.
They're about 60
Scratch
feet away.
that. Oh, okay. What about a 20-foot area? It's about the same, probably.
Yeah.
In that case, Emory gets a wild look in his eyes and looks over to Qiao and says, "You're a man of action, right?
Recently.
Come with me." And I put my hand on his shoulder and I cast Sir Emory's lightning advance. We're going to teleport onto their ship, and we're going to fuck
Which
them
one,
up.
left or right?
Huh?
Left or right?
Left or right? What? Shoulder?
Ships, because there's one on
Ships?
either side of you.
Oh. No, whichever one I can get the most people in. It's probably 6s.
I'm attacking the left side.
Left side?
Just
Let's
FYI.
get to the right.
Yeah, don't want to get stuck
Okay.
in that hypnotic pattern, guys.
Yep, we're going to the right-hand side.
Okay.
So I
Cool.
will need Constitution saving throw, DC 16, from both of them.
Double fail.
Double fail? Excellent. That will be 5, 10, oh my god, 19, 24 points of damage to each of them.
Wow.
And Qiao and I appear next to them.
Okay, so
Which
you guys are on the
technically-
right ship. Uh-huh.
Would that technically put him close enough to trigger his ready to action of attacking if they get close?
I guess that's true. It wasn't like with your will, so you can take your attack now, Qiao.
Okay. I will do that. Okay, that's a 19 plus 7. So I'm assuming it will hit.
That definitely does.
Okay, and I'm swinging with my Shadow Blade, so it's going to be 3d8 plus my ads. So that's going to be 18 piercing damage on the first attack. Do I get to make 2 attacks with a ready to action? Is it an attack action?
I'll let you take both, because that's
Okay.
dope as heck. Yeah.
Okay. And then on my second attack, come on, buddy. That's going to be a 17?
To hit? Yeah, that hits.
Yes. Okay, and then that'll be 22 piercing, or I'm sorry, psychic damage for both of those as I hit with my trident.
This man dies. He's shot by lightning, and then he just fully lays over dead. You've taken out one of those guys on the ship. The other guy is still standing.
I take the rest of my turn real fast.
Yeah.
Let's run up. How far away is the closest uninjured fellow?
Literally like 10 feet.
I run up to him and I action surge. I will cast a cantrip. Since I already cast a spell, I'll cast a cantrip of Booming Blade.
Awesome.
I swing at him with a long sword. That is a 20 to hit.
That hits.
He takes 12 points. Nope, 12 plus something. 1 second here. He takes 18 points of damage. Nope, 16 points of damage. And some rather nasty things will happen if he moves on his turn.
Okay, he is looking right messed up. He's not looking good. Now, one gun goes up, another gun descends, and we're going to roll 2 attacks.
What's happening to the... Oh, never mind.
That is a crit fail on hitting Johan. So it doesn't hit you. A bullet streaks toward Karina. And that is 22 damage on Karina as a bullet pierces her back.
Who's shooting at her?
Let me see. So it's not anyone, now that like these ships are here, you can tell it's not anybody on either of these ships on either side of you. It's hard to tell. It's a sniper. It must be someone else up in the air with you.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
I'm just gonna, because we're running out of time now, so I'll be pretty clear with this. There is a large galleon floating above you guys, several feet up, and it is not moving fast. It has to move extremely slow, but it's going at Mach speed to try and keep up with you at your slower pace.
I thought there was only one small ship. This was a very poor decision.
No. I mean, who could have anticipated? I mean, this exhibits how extreme his desire to kill you guys is. But we'll continue because you guys are faster than all of their ships. So you guys really just have to survive so many rounds successfully. I'm also giving the captain a turn.
And we have to get back to the ship because I'm on another ship now. That was a poor decision.
Well, that will be solved really quick here. So all of the people who are able to fling their grappling hooks over to the other ship, and then the other two ships on the side go up vertically and tilt. And you see each of the people trying to jump onto the main ship. I'm going to see... The people who are on your ship don't detect that you've jumped on, the people who are steering it, and so they just go with you. You guys will also be deposited onto the ship. All of the people all kind of land onto the ship in a clump, but this is a perfect time for people who have prepared actions to take their attacks. We'll start with Johan.
They all need to make wisdom saving throws. All 7 of them.
That's fair. Well, yeah. The guy who's frightened is run away, but he'll still be within range. What's the DC?
This is not on my ship. This is in the air between the ships.
Right. What's the DC?
17.
Okay. Not a single one of them succeed. They're trying to drop them onto the ship. How about we make a compromise? We'll say, because I like this a lot, 4 of them fall off the ship entirely. 3 more fall onto your ship and are dazed and are currently under the effects of your spell, because all of them failed. So you see 4 of them just go, ooh, and they're attached to the ropes that are attached to the ship, but they didn't have time to grab it, or if it was a fix, they're just dangling with a broken spine off the side of the ship now. So there are 3 people dazed under the effects of that spell.
Okay.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to get behind something.
Okay, Corvus, you had a turn?
Mm-hmm. Cutting the actual ropes isn't going to do much.
You could completely sever off the people who fell off the ship. Or you could remove the safety of the people who are still on the ship.
Well, and there are other people. So wait, there was a total of 7 that were going?
3. 4 fell off the ship and are dangling off their ropes. 3 are on the ship.
Okay, well then in that case, I will cut the ropes of, well, at least 2 of them, considering, 2 attacks.
Okay. So you cut off 2 of the ropes. You see their bodies plummet out of the sky underneath the ship. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's it.
Okay, Karina's turn. She's going to cut 2 more ropes. So now there's 4 bodies falling off the ship. Moving on to Qiao. Oh, wait, no. So these are readied actions. So that's everybody's readied action except for Lyre? No, Lyre used Dissonant Whispers. That's right.
But the fellow who... did he move further away from me? The guy who, if he moves on his,
everybody moved.
Additional damage.
Everybody moved.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he takes 14 points of damage.
He dies.
Good man.
Good fall.
You're a real fucked up mind, dude. That's what your captain says. That's pretty messed up. Okay. Moving on, that's the rogue's turn. The captain starts increasing the speed of the ship. You can tell yourselves are visibly moving faster than the ships on the side. as well as the ship behind you, as you guys increase speed into like this dash. Now we're going to start back at the top of initiative. Oh wait, the rogues have turns, and there are still 3 that get to make saves, and then there's 5 on the ship. What is your what's the save again? Do they get to make a turn after their turn?
Mm-hmm.
It's at the end of their turn?
Mm-hmm.
All of them remain dazed. Holy cow. These 5, let me see.
Oh, wait. No, they don't even get to make a save again. They're just completely dazed. They're incapacitated and have speed of 0 for 1 minute. Only way to break them out of it is if somebody shakes them.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the pattern is dumb.
That's wild. That's super good. So
No,
2 of these guys.
I think it's not a very dangerous spell, right? Like it wouldn't be threatening if you cast it in a party.
Also, if they take damage, they're also shaken out.
Yeah.
Well,
Does an 18 and a 17 hit Lyre?
What?
Does an 18 and a 17 hit Lyre?
Unfortunately.
What's your? There was also an 11.
Well, that doesn't hit.
Okay. Okay. So you take max damage, 10 piercing damage as they stab you with the stilettos. That's the first one. And then another 7 damage as another person manages to stab you. And I need you to make a con save.
That would be a 21.
Wow. Okay, so you're going to take half of this. It's 8. 7 more damage, poison damage, as you feel some poison seep into you. It's very sharp. Like a sharp, intense poison. 2 more people are going to attack Karina. That is only 14 and a 9. The 14 meets her AC. That is a 11. Man, they're doing really good with these. And then she's got to make a poison saving throw. She fails. And she takes... She takes 22 points of damage and she goes down.
Great.
New king then.
Me.
Oh no. Now that's their turn. The ship goes faster. Johan, top of initiative.
All right. Top of initiative. Maintaining that concentration on that one, or on the hypnotic pattern, I am going to run forward. Excuse me. And I'm going, you said there are 2 attacking?
Yes.
Rena? I'm going to attack the 2 of them.
Okay.
So, first attack, since there is an ally next to them, I get advantage, or I don't get advantage, I get a sneak attack.
Okay.
So, first attack is going to be, well, that's strange. Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. That'll be a 25 to hit.
That hits.
First attack. All right. So that will be 19 damage to that guy.
All right.
And then second attack against that guy as well will be an 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that will be, wow, max damage again. Or not max damage, but, sorry, not again. It is max damage. But, and that'll be an additional 12 damage to him.
Awesome. He's looking not so great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Corvus, you're up.
I'm also going to go. Actually, let me check some features here. Okay, I am going to go ahead and also go to attack the ones by Kurna and Johan.
Okay. Do you want to hit the one that's already damaged?
Well, not first. Here's what I'll do. Unarmed strike against the one that hasn't been damaged first.
Okay.
That's going to be a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, he needs to make a con save because I'm going to make that hit with a stunning strike.
That's a 17.
Then he does succeed. That blows. Well, I'll hit him a second time anyway. That's also a 16 to hit. And damage for the first one is 5. Damage for the second one is 10. So those deal total 15 damage. I'm going to expend another key point and do that for a flurry of blows. I will hit the other one with it, which is going to be a, what was that? 16 also.
Wow. Okay, good.
So doing real consistent there. So that's going to do 7 damage. I'm going to use another key point to deal extra necrotic damage to him, which is going to do 1 necrotic damage. That blows. And then I am going to use the last hit in that to touch Karina and use my Hands of Healing, which is going to give her back, I believe that's 6 health points.
Wow.
And then
awesome.
I'm also going to move so that while I'm still within range of those two, I am not within 5 feet of her.
Okay.
If I'm within 5 feet of Johan, that's an acceptable sacrifice. Sorry, Johan. But the basic gist is because they will. The basic gist is because they will be starting their turns within my noxious aura. One, they have to succeed on a con save or become poisoned, and take poison damage.
Wow. Okay. I'll remind me of that if I forget. Now it's Karina's turn. She's going to use her awakenedness to attack. She hits both times. Oh my gosh, are you for real? Okay, we'll just roll here. She deals 7, 10. Wow, she rolled almost max. She deals 24 damage to the first guy that Johan was hitting, and he dies. He stabs him through with a rapier. That's both of her attacks, though. Now it is Qiao's turn.
How many adversaries are left on this? How many adversaries?
There's 4 left. 3 are fully dazed.
Okay.
So there's 4 left that aren't dazed. There are 3 that are dazed.
Okay. Are they all within 30 feet of me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna blow my recovered 4th level spell slot, being a wizard and such. And thank God you mentioned Arcane Recovery earlier, because I completely forgot to use it until you said that. I am going to cast Watery Sphere again, and I am going to move it. It's 30-foot movement, and I'm going to slam it into all of those guys. And I need saves from all of them, strength saves.
Wow.
They are currently incapacitated.
Well, there's 4 that aren't, right?
Yeah, there are 4 that aren't.
Okay.
I'm going for those.
Okay.
So what's the save?
DC 16.
Only 1 makes it.
Okay, so the one that makes it is not stuck in the sphere. How much movement did it take the sphere to hit them all?
They're all bound up together because they all jumped off the same ship. I'm going to say only about 20. Just
Okay. I'm going to move the sphere with the additional 10 feet. Are they attached to ropes, did you say?
yes. But
Okay.
the grappling hooks are just on the side of the ship.
The side of our ship.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna move the watery sphere off the side of the ship.
Okay.
And so it is gonna start descending. Wait, no, that's bad.
I mean, they don't have anything up their sleeves to defend against it. Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna put it off. I'm gonna put it off the side of the ship. So
Okay.
they're gonna fall, or it's gonna fall. I don't know if they'll be. I guess they'll still be attached to the ropes. I don't know.
This is turning into some really messy physics, and none of it is good for them. No matter how it turns out, they're being yanked down by water with a rope attached to their waists from Mach speeds out of an airship. I mean, I would assume even one of you guys that are like way stronger than them under those scenarios would probably die. So
Snap
I
in
pretty
half.
safely assume.
Okay,
What?
then I'm gonna throw the whole sphere off the side and just leave the one guy to fend for himself against my party members.
Okay, there's 3 gone. I mean, even like they're just dead bodies hanging off the ship. There's no way. Like, yeah.
We have weird decorations on this boat.
Someone's going to have to clean that up.
Now it's Lyre's turn.
I am going to wind wall from my Lyre, actually. And that is going to be a strength 16 check. And I'm having my wind wall snake around allies because I can just have it go in any route continuously. So I'm going to have it snake around my allies and just hit bad guys.
The one guy who's still there got a nat 1, so tell me how you dispose of this man.
Well, this man is going to take some bludgeoning damage off the side of the ship.
Okay. Do you want to hit the 3 people who are dazed as well?
Yes, I do. And I want to see if I can clean up the edge of the ship and get rid of some of these bodies hanging on.
My gosh. Well, that's another crit fail. That's a success. It was DC 16?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, none of them succeed. So they take bludgeoning damage and they're forced to move?
They'll take 3d8 bludgeoning damage on a failed save, but I
mean, it's getting late. You guys are going to mincemeat these people at this rate. They're going to get a couple more sniper shots on you, but other than that, you're pretty much done with them.
How far is that galleon from us?
What?
I can deflect things upward with it. So
How back is that galleon from us?
It's probably about maybe about 500 feet. You have no idea how long those sniper guns are because, you know, it's hard to. That's not a technology we knew existed until recently.
Sir Emory is going to pop open a bottle of wine, fire a firebolt at the general location of the snipers, and yell, "Come at me, you fuckers!" and take a drink of wine. And he's just going to stand there. Any shots they take have disadvantage. He has an AC of 21.
Also, any shots they take us through the wind wall, I believe, have disadvantage as well.
They do.
Okay, so I'm gonna give them a bunch of shots.
Any ranged attack at me has disadvantage right now.
They do have like plus 12 to hit, so that's a 20 on Emory.
Any
that's
projectiles that are going through my wall are deflected upwards and miss.
Oh, nice.
Okay, they take your offer and they release probably about 8 volleys of shots at you, and they're just and geez, okay.
Praise Windwall. Jeez.
Yeah. Small or smaller flying creatures or objects can't pass through the wall. Loose, lightweight materials brought into the wall fly upwards. Arrows, bolts, and other projectiles launched at targets behind the wall are deflected upward and automatically miss.
I mean, if I wanted to be a real jerk about it, I could be like, well, bullets are an exception. But I mean,
Loose material.
yeah, I mean, so yeah, you guys have managed to successfully get out. Karina went down for a while. What do you guys want to do now that you've succeeded? You want to
Healing word, Karina.
I'm going to turn to Corvus and say, no, you were right. We should have killed him there. Next time we do it your way.
I'm going to pick up the glasses I saw. Are the glasses I brought up from downstairs, are they shattered or are they still whole? The wine glasses.
They gotta be whole. I mean, with that much of a success, they're fine.
Great.
Wait, wasn't I holding those?
What did you do with my wine glasses?
I'm like gonna look down at my hand and like surprised realize that they're still there because I.
Good man. I'm gonna pour everybody a round of wine.
I just sort of walk over to the edge of the ship and look off the edge of the ship.
Karina has a glass of wine and she brings it to you. And she starts to try and talk to you a little bit. But first, before we get there, Emory, these were the Justicar's ships. He's the only one who could even afford to have another ship, much less send it after you. And this is an act of war, but because of the chaos, you might never see justice for it. It's hard to know. People might not even know this has happened on the surface.
Bad man.
If he kills Karina, then Edward is no longer king, and he can take a lot more power.
Oh, that's just no good. We'll have to be sure that she doesn't die.
Well, I'm over here trying to healing word, so.
She's bringing the wine over to Johan as you're like Lyre music on her, and she's like getting healed up. Hey, come on. That was a success. It was a success. That went really well.
Yeah. I don't see anybody healing me, though.
Who is this man?
I'll cast healing word on, like, I got injured too.
Well,
so
yeah, Karina's over there injured. I can, in all honesty, do you require assistance?
Got fucking sniped in the shoulder. Yes.
May I ask your name as he pulls out a healer's kit?
Johan.
Everyone. If I may introduce my husband,
met.
And therefore the king, Johan Hollow. She raises her glass.
I sort of like put my hand over her arm like, no, do that.
No. That's a good celebration.
No.
I thought he was dead for 4 years. Stop. You're making me spill the wine everywhere. This is good stuff.
Don't spill the wine.
Will you stop moving so I can fix this? All right. Now I'm gonna roll. Okay. Oh, yay. So you get 10 HP plus additional equal to your max number of hit dice. So 10 plus, what, 9?
Yeah.
I think so 19 HP back. As I, pull out my healer's kit and start patching up your wounds.
Cool.
Your Majesties, have you ever considered they make armor out of metal now? You can be far more protected if you were to dress as I do.
She drains her
I don't fucking
goblet.
get hit. I hide. Always.
And that worked very well for you.
Yes.
Excuse my husband.
4 years.
He has such a temper. I just prefer the jeweler's art, but I can see your point. She points to like her like 4 bullet holes and stab wounds. This is pretty awful. I really didn't enjoy that at all.
It's very bad.
Is there anything people would like to do in this kind of ending scene now that you've managed to repel the Justicar's men?
I'm just awkwardly staring at Johan. Like, I'm just staring at Johan, wondering how on earth I'm supposed to ask him questions about things. And if he looks at me, I'm staring at him.
I'm like, stop staring at him.
Okay. Yeah. Karina is sweet and cordial and seems to be, I mean, only Sir Emory would know this, but in court she is always sullen and unhappy and pretty unpleasant. And this is the first time she's seemed kind of vibrant in a very long time.
In court she was always sullen and...
I can't stand it! Ah! Oh my God! But is anybody else wants to do in this scene before I kind of do closing remarks?
I am gonna just not drink the wine and continue to look off the edge of the ship and pout.
I'm
also not gonna drink the wine.
Was that Lyre?
I'll drink their wine.
I'm resisting the cat urge to go knock off wine glasses off the side of the ship. Do I have to roll against that?
I mean, I think you're good, but Sir Everett's probably not going to be happy if you notice.
I can try to mage hand catch them, or if you knock too many off at once, cast Featherfall.
And then we have to go with diversion to go grab the wine glasses from the surface. Side quest for the wine glasses.
Absolutely.
The captain is like, normally I don't drink, but give me a glass while I'm a victory glass.
Absolutely.
Fine maneuvering.
And I'll give her a glass.
Awesome. She drains it immediately and goes to throw it over her shoulder and is like, I'm sorry, force of habit, and hands it back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Qiao is staring at Johan. Corvus, anything you'd like to do?
No, I assume everyone kind of knows who Johan is with the stuff technically, or
I wouldn't, but I also don't care.
I'm also not really caring that. Well, to an extent, I don't know.
I'm more concerned about him like spending the first like 3 hours of us knowing him like lying to us about who he was, and I'm like pretty standoffish about that. But I'm also like, he's too much to fuck with, you know? Like
I took out 4 people.
Yeah, like I don't really want to mess with him, and I'm like a cautious enough like.
I'm also still bathed in black energy for the next hour because of Armor of Agathis.
So I'm like, everyone, let's not like stare too much at this weirdo. Like, stop it, Qiao. Like, stop being.
I do not. I'm not even listening to what Lyre is saying. 100%.
Let's not stare too much at the... Oh, go on.
I say, but get my destiny. And I don't elaborate or make it clear what I'm talking about.
And I'm just like asking you what your destiny is over and over again. I'm just like, What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I guess ask him. I wasn't around for it. Just like
Okay. I'm going to
Do we
touch on
need to go
some.
down? Do we need to go lay down? Is it time to lay down, dude?
thank you. And I'm gonna next session. I'm gonna go talk to
Johan?
Johan. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually
So I'm going to
gonna
go
lay
over some information that you guys, I would just want to say that you're kind of forced to realize both for the story as well as for notes. Johan recognizes that all of his indiscretion over the past 4 years now is traceable because they will have been made warlocks. Lyre, you come to the realization your entire family back home are now warlocks. And for a short period of time were exposed to the same rage you were with the same powers. Corvus,
Were they as dangerous as me, though?
did any of them have any levels in anything?
I don't know. They're my family. Like, my oldest brother is what, like a factory worker, and then
Yes.
like.
So maybe not, but you know, when you're not highly leveled, you only have like 15 hit points. Doesn't take a lot. Corvus, you remember you don't remember the snipers ever taking a shot at you. And then, sorry. Oh my gosh. Qiao, I think where you're at is great. And I'm going to say, Emory, we leave Emory on thinking about this genealogical nature of this magic and what it means for Pith being able to give magic to anyone that's related to the man that she was in the cage with. After that, Johan, you see a settlement appearing over on the land. You see the mainland, and you see you're approaching this big, sprawling wooden mess. And the captain goes, "Hoy, point wreck!" And that's where we'll end our session, but I want to give one last visual because it's a 2-week passage. This is the last visual I'll end on before I kind of stop the recording. A marble, white and black marble pedestal stands in a place far away. There are marble pillars going up in a pagoda of about 4, and there is a pit in the center of this marble, basically, place. It's like a marble construct. There is a silken golden chain spiraling down this pedestal into a pit that's built into the center of it that just seems to go straight down. And the chain is slowly pulled taut. And that's where we'll end our session.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks so much. I'll stop the recording.